Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk everything Steelers, Penguins, and today, Pittsburgh Pirates baseball. I am your host, Brady Vini. Baseball is back, ladies and gentlemen. It is a good day. Baseball, probably, aside from hockey, my favorite sport to watch and cover. America's pastime. Grew up playing it, love it through and through, and today, we ring in a new Pittsburgh Pirates baseball season with an exciting matchup on hand to kick things off here today. The Buccos in Flushing, New York, to take on the New York Mets. Two teams that have quite honestly improved, even though they lost a few pieces here and there over the offseason. Two teams with high expectations for this season, looking to get back to the postseason. The Bucs looking to break a damn near decade-long streak of not making the playoffs. They have had one of their best rosters that we have seen in years, and honestly, the best roster that we have seen put together in the Ben Cherington era. So excited to get things kicked off here today with the Bucs, see how things go here today. Hopefully, this win here today, a hopeful win, will jumpstart them into an exciting season ahead. It will be no easy task, though, with the Mets. I mean, they are tough. They have got star power all throughout their lineup, a good bit of which just participated in the World Baseball Classic. So the Buccos today, let's hope that Paul Skeens does his thing on the mound, repping good old number 30 here today. Let's hope that some of the new faces to this Pirates lineup get going early and that they live up to the contracts and the hype that they come to Pittsburgh with. And let's hope that we can maybe get to Freddie Peralta a little bit, the former Brewers pitcher now with the Mets. So excited to get this one going here today. Live reactions and commentary for opening day 2026. Before we get into the game itself and talk about these teams a little bit more, talk about these starting lineups as well. If you are new here, welcome to the Steel City Sports Report. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you never miss a thing here on the channel. Again, like this live stream, share this live stream, and in the comments section, if you have any thoughts, questions, opinions, or reactions to today's game, please get those in the comments section. I enjoy very, very much interacting with you fine folks when you do so. Also, go give the channel a follow at Steel City SR on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Player and coach intros going on over here on the screen to my right. You just saw Carlos Mendoza, the manager for these New York Mets, get introduced, and there is Francisco Lindor, a hell of a top three in the batting order today for the Mets. We'll get to that here in a second. But first off, want to talk about these two teams. Want to go back to the Pirates here. Like I said, high expectations for this team, the highest that we have had for this baseball club in quite some time. Pittsburgh, it is starving for a winning team. It is starving for Bucktober baseball once again in the Steel City. And this year, the Pirates, after one full year of Paul Skeens, last year they didn't really do anything to help Skeens or the pitching staff at all with the bats. Quite honestly, one of the worst offenses that we saw in Major League Baseball last year. This offseason, there was a clear goal set out for general manager Ben Cherington and owner Bob Nutting. You got Paul Skeens, you got Mitch Keller, you got what on paper has the capabilities of being a top 5 rotation in all of Major League Baseball. Go and add bats, and when you've added bats, add some more on top of it. It's up to your interpretation if the Bucs did that or not, but they did add to their lineup significantly. They still got a few of the same guys from last year. Henry Davis will be the primary catcher. You still got Spencer Horwitz and Jared Triolo on the infield, O'Neal Cruz, Brian Reynolds in the outfield. But being added to this team this year, Brandon Lau, 31 home runs last year at second base for the Tampa Bay Rays. An absolutely brilliant trade from Ben Cherington, acquiring Lau, only giving up one player. In addition to Lau, the Pirates also got outfielder Jake Mangum, not in the starting lineup today, but you can't expect him to play a lot, especially with his defensive capabilities this upcoming season. And you'll see another new left-handed arm out of the bullpen, Mason Montgomery. Very live arm, throwing 100 miles an hour. The two other big bats that the Pirates added to their lineup, Ryan O'Hearn, former Baltimore Oriole, former Kansas City Royal. He, after getting traded at last year's deadline to the San Diego Padres, is now with the Pirates, signing a 2-year deal. Was originally going to be, a designated hitter, maybe play a little bit of first base as well. He's going to play the outfield, and he's going to play it a ton this upcoming season. He's only had, I think, somewhere in the ballpark of 66 career starts in the outfield and right field. It is going to be sink or swim with him out there this year because of another bat that the Pirates added to their lineup. You added two, decent left-handed bats like that. The Bucks have quite a good bit of left-handed bats with good on-base skills. Brian Reynolds, O'Neal Cruz, O'Hearn, and Lau. But they needed to add a right-handed power bat. And they made the difficult decision of letting go Andrew McCutchen, franchise legend. He is now with the Texas Rangers. They did bring in the big bear, Marcell Ozuna, on a 1-year, $10 million deal. Ozuna, who hit bombs all over Atlanta, looking to bring some of that pop to the Pittsburgh Pirates lineup. Those guys will be in the middle of the order here today. Those three new guys near the top and the middle. So excellent additions this offseason by the Pirates. Not your brother, not your father's Pirates that have been, one of the lowlier franchises in all of sports over the past decade or so. The Pirates actually looking like they are serious in competing this year. Also added a few pitchers as well. Gregory Soto in the bullpen. Justin Lawrence, I'm kind of counting him as a addition, was added last year from the Colorado Rockies, but missed pretty much the entire year with a injury. And also Jose Urquidy is going to pitch out of the bullpen here today for the Bucks. But does look like on paper that this team has improved tenfold since we were last live for a Pittsburgh Pirate game. I can't remember the last time we were live for a Pirate game and, what the lineup was for this team. I assure you it was not nearly as good as this one we will see here today. As for the New York Mets, they too have gotten better. They did lose a couple of, nice pieces. Edwin Diaz, their closer, he is now an LA Dodger. They had Pete Alonso sign with the Baltimore Orioles, maybe another guy or two that is slipping my mind right now. But they did add, and maybe they lost a little bit of quality. They did add in quantity on the pitching side. Freddie Peralta, former Milwaukee Brewer ace, he's going to get the start today against Paul Skeens. They also added to their bullpen Luke Weaver and Devin Williams, the two former New York Yankees, going from one side of New York to the other. In the field, their whole infield, except for Francisco Lindor, pretty much new. Jorge Polanco, I think, going to get the start at first base here today. He comes from the Seattle Mariners. Marcus Semien, they made a big trade, I believe, shipping off Jeff McNeil to the Texas Rangers for Marcus Semien. And then the big free agent acquisition, Bo Bichette, no longer a Toronto Blue Jay. He goes with Toronto to the World Series last year. They lose, and now he goes for big money to the New York Mets, and he will be playing third base this season. So a new position he will learn on the fly as well. Let's not forget Luis Robert Jr., the ex-Chicago White Sox. Rumors around him that he was going to be traded for about 2 years, and they finally got that trade done this offseason. So two teams that overall you look on paper better than what they probably looked like last year. The Mets, it's closer, but with the Pirates, it is night and day difference, the expectations and build of this team. Hopefully they are able to get off to a hot start and keep the good mojo that they had from, the back half of last year when they brought in Donnie Kelly as manager after firing Derek Shelton. On to the starting lineups for today, ladies and gentlemen. This an interesting lineup for the Pittsburgh Pirates. It is the same one that they had in their spring training finale back on Monday. O'Neal Cruz back in the leadoff spot. Was wondering whether he was going to bat leadoff or be somewhere in that 5 to 7 range in the lineup where he could, maybe serve as a second leadoff hitter once you get through the top half of the lineup. He'll lead off in center field. Brandon Lau filling in at Brian Reynolds' old spot in the 2-hole. He'll play second base. Reynolds himself will bat third, switch hitter in left field. He's going to be playing that a ton this year. Was in left field 2 years ago, played right field last year, and now he is back in left once again with the addition of Ryan O'Hearn. Marcell Ozuna, the big right-handed power bat, he'll bat cleanup and designated hit. You got Ryan O'Hearn in right field batting fifth. It's a little bit interesting, though I guess it is a good idea to break up the lefty bats versus righty bats in the lineup. Jared Triolo, usually batting in the bottom 2 spots in the order, all the way up at 6 today in the lineup at shortstop. Another interesting decision by Donnie Kelly as well, having Triolo play shortstop and having Nick Gonzalez play third base. You normally think that those two would be swapped in terms of positioning. Spencer Horwitz, maybe the most consistent batter for the Pirates last year, even though the offense was terrible. He'll bat 7th and play first base. Nick Gonzalez at third base. He's going to be learning that position on the fly, literally, because I believe he has 1 major league start at third base, and I think he bounced all around the infield in spring training. Not sure he really settled at third base throughout those few months. Henry Davis, Paul Skeens' personal catcher. He bats 9th and is behind the dish here today, and hopefully a breakout season for Henry Davis. That would be very, very nice from him. I think in the offseason it was reported Davis pretty much threw away his old swing mechanics, brought in a hitting coach and has got a whole new process when he is up batting at the plate. So hopefully Davis is going to maybe tap into some of that high potential with the bat that he had when he got drafted. Paul Skeens, of course, Tall Paul, the reigning NL Cy Young Award winner. Before that, the NL Rookie of the Year, 2-time All-Star, starter in both games, winning pretty much everything up to this point in his career, except for making the playoffs. He gets the start here today. Last year, a 1.97 ERA. That is a bit of a decrease from, I believe, his ERA in his first year, which was 1.96. So expect Paul Skeens to have another dip in ERA this season. Maybe he throws 1.98. Seems to be the trajectory he's on early on in his career here. 10-10 record for Skeens yesterday, or for Skeens last year. And hopefully that's going to be maybe cut in half, maybe 5 more wins and 5 less losses for Skeens, given the offense that is now trying to be assembled around him. We'll see throughout the year if it actually pays off. As for the New York Mets, their lineup here today, they have got Francisco Lindor, the shortstop, absolute superstar. He'll bat leadoff. Skeens will face Lindor. He'll then face Juan Soto, who he squared off with just a couple weeks ago in the World Baseball Classic. Soto of the Dominican Republic, Skeens for Team USA. Bo Bichette at third base, bats third. Jorge Polanco, switch hitting first baseman. He'll bat fourth. Luis Robert Jr. in center field, bats fifth. Brett Beatty, there was some rumors throughout this past offseason that Brett Beatty or Mark Vientos, 2 young corner infielders for the Mets, rumors that they could have been, on the move. They were on the trade block. The Bucks were linked to them a little bit, but they ended up staying, both of them. Beatty, the designated hitter, will bat sixth. And in the bottom 3 of the lineup, Marcus Semien, who had a pretty bad year with the bat last year with the Texas Rangers, he'll bat 7th at second base. Carson Benj, or Bengay, I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name. Benj, we'll go with for now. Rookie, or very inexperienced MLB player at the least. He is in right field. Francisco Alvarez does the catching for the Mets today. And on the bump for the Mets, like I said, Freddie Peralta, 6 foot, 198-pound right-handed pitcher, former Milwaukee Brewer. Last year, good year with the Brewers. 2.70 ERA, 17 wins and 6 losses. He struck out just over 200 batters in a little over 175 innings pitched. So we got a hell of a pitching duel here on opening day, and hopefully a hell of a game overall coming up here right now, as it looks like the Mets are going to be taking the field here in a moment for the beginning of the game. Another crazy aspect of it, this is aside, from the game overall, connection being made between these two teams just a few hours ago. Tommy Pham, who was with the Pirates last season, had a rotten first half of the season, ended up getting some sort of a prescription adjustment to the eye condition he has, and then he really was thumping to end the season last year for the Bucks. Pham, not picked up in free agency at all this past offseason. He, today, just a few hours ago, signing a one-year minor league deal with the Mets that will pay him $2.25 million when he reaches the big leagues. He does have an opt-out clause in that contract on April 25th. So Tommy Pham, bit of a Pirate and Met connection here before they take the field against each other. There's a look at the Pirates dugout right there. Oneil Cruz getting ready to put on his batting helmet and head out there to start warming up. Looks like the Mets right now still got a few players out in the field stretching. The Pirates stirring in their dugout. Oneil Cruz cut his dreads too. That's still getting pretty difficult to get used to. But, you know, hey, maybe it's good luck for him, and maybe he'll be able to have that breakout season that we all know he has the potential for. He's had, you know, certain issues in his game from keeping him from being a full-fledged superstar, whether it's, you know, not being able to hit lefty batters. He did improve on that, like, significantly in spring training. Cruz said that against left-handed pitching in the offseason, he hired a left-handed bullpen pitcher and was just hitting off of the left-hander all off-season long. Hopefully that doesn't take away from him hitting off of right-handers. But Cruz, whether it's, you know, undisciplined approach at the plate or not being able to hit a specific pitch or pitcher, or, you know, maybe, you know, some fielding issues, it's still going to be an adventure with Oneil Cruz out in center. He had a couple of should not happen errors in spring training, but hopefully Cruz able to put everything together here this season, and hopefully he can be the catalyst of getting the Pirates back to the postseason. The Mets taking the field. Bo Bichette wearing number 19 for the Mets out there at third base. Quite a size difference, too, in the number 1 and number 2 hitter in the Pirates lineup. Oneil Cruz, who's 6'6", 6'7". Then you have Brandon Lau, who's somewhere in the world of 5'10", 5'11", if you want to be gracious. So quite a difference there in height. Look at the defense for the Mets there. This game on NBC. Also love that for NBC baseball this year, they are bringing in commentators, color analysts from both teams for these national broadcast games. You've got Neil Walker in there representing the Pirates, longtime Bucks second baseman, Pittsburgh native. Also on the back end of Neil's career, was able to play for the New York Mets. And then Al Leiter, former Met himself, legendary MLB pitcher. He is the other commentator. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Baseball is back. The 2026 MLB season for your Pittsburgh Pirates is underway. Oneil Cruz in the box sees the first pitch from Freddie Peralta. It is a fastball down and away for ball one. Cruz looking to get off to a hot start this season. There's Peralta, his pitch, and Cruz swings through that 93-mile-an-hour heater. I think that's what Peralta wanted on the first pitch. Bottom outside corner of the strike zone. This time he got Cruz to not really chase after it, but to at least swing at it. Doesn't look like the Mets are overly aggressively shifting against Oneil Cruz right here. You do have Francisco Lindor shaded towards second a little bit. Another pitch from Peralta right in there. 96 mile an hour. Strike two. 1-2 now on Cruz. Peralta pitches from the stretch here, and that breaking ball down in the dirt. Slider misses. Ball two. 4-pitch mix for Freddie Peralta. Fastball, changeup, curveball, and slider. Nothing too exotic out of that group. Peralta on the 2-2 pitch to Cruz, and Cruz holds off on his swing again. Curveball had him thinking. But Cruz runs the count full now. It's 3-2. Be nice to get an early base runner on here for the Buccos. Cruz last year was tied for the league lead in stolen bases, who he was tied with the left fielder in today's game, Juan Soto. 3-2 from Peralta, fouled away by Cruz off to the left. Two base stealing leaders from last season, head-to-head, after being teammates on the Dominican Republic in the WBC. Peralta here, and Cruz, he's going to flare this one out to center field, and that is going to be a base hit. Good start to the season for the Buccos. Just like that, we got one on for the Buccos. The first batter of the season gets a little bloop single out to center field. They always say, the first batter of the season, pretty much a tone setter for how the entire season's going to go. I'll take a little bloop single here if you're the Pirates. Not going to have an issue with that. From tall as hell O'Neal Cruz to now not small as hell, but he's got some power. But we'll go with short Brandon Lau. His first actual real at-bat with the Pirates last year. Like I said, 31 home runs, 83 RBIs with the Tampa Bay Rays. Peralta gives this one to Lau. Lau skies this one to right field. It is carrying back at the wall, and it's gone! Oh my God! Brandon Lau, his first at-bat with the Pirates. It's a 2-run homer. The Pirates lead in the first inning. I don't think he hit it all that hard, did Lau. I don't think he realized he hit it that hard. That ball just kept on carrying and carrying and carrying, and it got out of here into the first row. A leaping Carson Benj could not bring it back. Looks like we got a welder's mask as the home run celebration, I guess you would say, object this year for the Pirates. And Brandon Lau down the right field line. O'Neal Cruz just standing there watching the ball carry, and wow! Brandon Lau, welcome to the Pirates. Holy hell. Brandon Lau, a 2-run home run down the right field line to begin his Pirate career. Only 30 more to go to tie his total from last season. And now it's Brian Reynolds up here in an 0-2 count. And Reynolds, that is an ugly at-bat for him. 1-2-3, see you later. B-Ray strikes out on a not too good swing there to end it all. Backdoor breaking ball, and Reynolds just sort of waved at it, hoping to make contact. So 1 down now here in the inning. And now it's Marcell Ozuna up to bat. Pitch here from Peralta, 94-mile-an-hour four-seamer, almost middle for strike one. 232 batting average with Ozuna. 21 home runs last year. Waves and misses at that slider for strike two. Quickly an 0-2 count. Ozuna, those 21 home runs last year and that 232 batting average, a down season for Ozuna compared to his previous two, and that is not good for the Pirates. They get the home run from Brandon Lau, and that is back-to-back strikeouts for Peralta on 6 pitches. Ozuna, Reynolds, ugly at-bats, and they are now both down here. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Ryan O'Hearn now up to bat. Batting in the 5th hole today, wearing number 29, O'Hearn. Swings and misses, and are we going to try to have an immaculate 3 batters here for Freddie Peralta after he gives up the home run? That pitch just misses on the outside. 94-mile-an-hour. Was close to hitting the strike zone, but did not make it there. Also, ABS challenge system in full effect this year across the MLB. That pitch outside from Peralta. Count now runs to 2-1 on O'Hearn. This will be the 18th pitch of this first inning here for Freddie Peralta. O'Hearn waits the pitch, and O'Hearn going up the ladder a little bit to catch up to that fastball. Fouls it away. Count now runs to 2-2. Paul Skeens waiting in the Pirates dugout there. Does his normal, pacing that he always does. But when Lau came in, a little bit of a celebration from Skeens, showing a little bit more emotion. That's interesting from him. 2-2 here to O'Hearn, and it's right there on the inside bottom corner of the strike zone after a bloop single to O'Neal Cruz and a 2-run home run from Brandon Lau. Freddie Peralta, after the bloop and the blast, he recovers and strikes out the next 3 batters to end the top of the first inning. On to the bottom of the first now, and Paul Skeens is going to come out to the mound now. Already a National League Rookie of the Year award winner and a Cy Young award winner. Is he going to work on Cy Young campaign number 2? Let's hope that he gets off to a hot start. He's got a tough lineup to deal with right out of the chute here today on opening day. To the comments section, 10 of you in here right now. Please get your comments, thoughts, opinions in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about the Pirates getting off to that 2-0 start. Jonathan Harvey here, hoping the Pirates begin the season with a W. Wanting a winning Pirates team this season. Watching from Detroit. Welcome all the way from Michigan, Jonathan Harvey. Going from one Cy Young Award winner in Paul Skeens. You're in the vicinity of the 2-time reigning AL Cy Young Award winner, Tarek Skubal. Both Skubal and Skeens pitched for Team USA. Hoping that the Pirates do have a winning team. It would be so refreshing for this city right now. And you look at the landscape of Pittsburgh sports over the past half decade, it has been dark, dark times for the city of Pittsburgh sports-wise. The Pittsburgh Penguins, after winning their Stanley Cups, they fell on hard times. They're looking right now, the Penguins, to get back to the NHL playoffs for the first time in, I think, 3 years. The Steelers, now the Steelers actually are having some changes, a new head coach in there, some new players as well. But before that, just the same old sad story that you knew was going to happen every year with the Steelers. And then the Pirates, I mean, they've been maybe the most forgotten team in the league, to be honest, because they were just so bad year after year in this tenureship of Ben Cherington and Bob Nutting, Travis Williams, all those guys, Derek Shelton before he got canned last year. And now with this guy on the mound over here, Paul Skeens, he drafted in 2023, looking to be a savior for this franchise. And now the Pirates trying to build around him. Paul Skeens, his first pitch of the 2026 season is outside to Frankie Lindor. 1-0. We'll get to the rest of your comments in the comments section here in a second. Shout out SCSR Dad, $5 contribution for the Pirates' first home run of the 2026 season. That pitch, number 2 from Paul Skeens, well up and out. 2-0 now. Francisco Lindor stands in for the Mets, switch hitting shortstop, batting from the left side. 811 OPS last year. And Skeens having a little bit trouble with location right now. 3-0 now on Lindor. Don't want to do what Freddie Peralta did and give the Mets a free base runner to start today's ball game. Skeens here, 3-0, and it is, oh, wow. And Francisco Lindor did not challenge that pitch. That fastball right on the outer half of the plate and a couple centimeters, however they measure how far outside the ball is. That one missed a little bit outside, and now Lindor watches that one clip the bottom of the zone. Paul Skeens battling back, 3-0, gets a call to get one strike on that one. Hit his mark, just nicking the bottom of the strike zone, and now a full count on Lindor. Getting the ABS challenge system in effect. Lindor did not challenge that last pitch. You got to tap your head immediately like this, whether you're pitcher, catcher, batter, to challenge a call. And Skeens here That changeup 91 miles an hour. My goodness, did that have a lot of break on it. Lindor somehow got underneath it and popped it out of play. 3-2. Lindor, 31 home runs last season. 267 average. Skeens, and that pitch on the outside, and it is going to be ball four. Lindor checked his swing. They appealed down to third, and it's a walk for the first batter of the year for Paul Skeens. And, you're talking about barely holding up there for Frankie Lindor. And now, Wheels on first base and Power in the batter's box. Juan Soto. He and Skeens just did battle a few weeks ago in the WBC. Skeens and Soto duel again. And Soto here was, for a second, lining up like he was going to lay down a bunt. Never see that from him. Has Soto ever had a bunt in his career? I would not be shocked whatsoever if he has not. That pitch was in there for strike one at the top of the zone. Skeens here, 0-1. Splitter drops out of the zone. Ball one. Count even at 11. Lindor at first. Soto, I think he might have. No, now he steps back in. Thought he took his time out there for a second. Skeens here from the stretch. Davis sets up. Skeens the pitch, and that one was a filthy curveball that Soto damn near pulled into his own dugout. Just trying to get any wood on that. One and two. Soto and Skeens do battle. Skeens the pitch. And Soto fouls this one away. Another change up below the zone, and this time it was fouled off to the left. Doing a panoramic shot there of Citi Field in New York. I think one of the bigger ballparks in America. Skeens here, 1 and 2. Again, and Soto hits this one. It's a flare into center field. It's going to drop in the right center field gap, and Cruz is going to throw this one to third, and it is close, but Lindor's in there. Juan Soto might have hit that one off of the handle of the bat, inside on him a little bit, and Cruz a strong throw to third base. Nick Gonzalez getting the tag down, but Lindor, and this is going to be close. This is close. They look at the replay there. The Pirates, I don't think, are going to challenge, but that was as bang as it gets at third base, looking at the slow-mo there. Pirates do not challenge, and now some trouble for Skeens to work out of. Runners at the corners, nobody out, and a first pitch strike to the new top man behind Soto and Lindor in the Mets lineup. It is Bo Bichette, 3-year, $126 million contract with the Mets. In the offseason, pickoff move to first. Soto is back safely. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Gonna need to be another Houdini act here for Paul Skeens right now at this point. Up 2-zip. See if you can execute a ground ball here, get a double play. You'll sacrifice the run for 2 outs. Skeens to Bichette. 4-seamer in there. Strike 2. No sort of controversy over the location of that pitch. 0-2. Skeens comes set. Peeks at Lindor at third. The pitch here, and this one is up, and it was fouled off by Bichette. Check swing from Bichette as that ball was riding up and in on him, and it just got the bat. Did not know if that was going to maybe nick a piece of his batting equipment or his hand. Knob of the bat. 0-2 here again. Skeens delivers. Bichette pops this one to right field straight away. O'Hearn over, and he is going to make the catch. And Lindor tagging from third is going to score. The throw goes into second. And one away for the Bucks, but it is a sacrifice fly in the first plate appearance for Bo Bichette. And the Mets are on the board. It is 2-1. That one hit to about medium right field, right on the foul line, and O'Hearn left the thrower out there. Wasn't really in any position to make a strong throw home. Jorge Polanco now steps in. He another new piece to this Mets lineup. The 3 through 5 members in this Mets lineup. 3 through 7, actually, with Marcus Semien all new to New York this season. First pitch to Polanco is inside, 1-0. Skeens another pickoff over to first. Soto, that one probably a little bit closer. Back in safely. Skeens, one of the best pickoff artists in Major League Baseball. His young, still young MLB career, he's had a handful of pickoffs. 1-0. Skeens set again. And the delivery. In this one, it's going to be fouled away by Polanco right off the end of the bat. Count back even, 1-1. Good bit of pitches thrown in the first inning by Freddie Peralta. I believe he ended the inning with around 20 pitches thrown. Paul Skeens going to match that total here soon. This is his 19th pitch of the first inning, and it's a shallow chopper, and Skeens, he's going to need to hurry. No, he's not going to have anything. It is a swinging bunt to the left side for Jorge Polanco, and he legs it out. No play for Skeens. Nick Gonzalez, have no idea. Yeah, he was playing way back there and just finding a open patch of grass on the infield for Polanco. No play, no time to make any play. So back to 2 runners on here. And here's Luis Robert. Skeens checks Soto at second. Pitch here, and Robert swings through that one and misses. Started him off with an off-speed pitch. Robert last year, 14 home runs, a .661 OPS with the White Sox. That pitch sweeps outside from Skeens. Count now 1-1. Throwing a lot of pitches here in this first inning, and you got to wonder, first real start of the season, you'd assume Skeens isn't going to have the highest pitch limit in the world. Hoping that he's able to wrangle it in over these next couple innings after this one to make a quality start out of it. That 1-1 there was fouled out of play by Lindor. Count now to 1-2. Lindor. Robert. Don't know why I call him Lindor. Robert. Swings, fouls that one away. Count stays at 1-2. Skeens here, shaking his arm a little bit. Gets the pitch calm sign and looking to execute one pitch to get out of this jam. Limit the damage. Pitch here to Robert, and Robert clobbers that one, but it is well fouled to left field into the second deck. Count remains at 1-2. Skeens will now at least have thrown 25 pitches here in this first inning of work. Not the ideal start he was hoping for. And now we got a step off here from Skeens. Count still at 1-2. Soto at first. Soto at second. Polanco at first. Robert, another foul. Continuing the battle here, 1-2. And Skeens still trying to work his way past this batter, hopefully out of the inning. The pitch again to Robert, and that one, a breaking ball sweeper, not close, and count finally changes from 1-2. It's now 2-2. Maybe some early fatigue here for Skeens. Hoping that's not the case. 2-2. And Robert, another foul. Sinker inside on the hands, and he got wood on it. Now Robert's going to take his first and only timeout of this at-bat. Come on, Paul. Execute one pitch here. Let's end this at-bat. Skeens here, and this one, not even close. That changeup bounced in front of home plate, and good job blocking it for Henry Davis. Count now full 3-2, and cannot let Robert get a free pass after this lengthy at-bat. Skeens the pitch, and it's a breaking ball outside, and he walked him. I have no idea. That was maybe a 10 pitch at least at bat there from Luis Robert. Yeah, 10 pitch at bat exactly for Luis Robert Jr. And I mean, Henry Davis, good stuff from him. He's going to go out here, try to give Paul Skeens a breather, because this is a tough one right now. You got the new pitching coach, Murphy, out there. And already we have a pitcher warming up in the bullpen for the Pirates. Are you kidding me? Yohan Ramirez is quickly up and moving in the Pirates bullpen. This is not a good sign. And now Brett Beatty. Soto at third. Polanco at second. Robert at first. And Brett Beatty, the lefty, up to bat, swinging strike one. That was pitch number 30 of this first inning for Skeens. The 0-1. This one hit into center field. O'Neal Cruz came in on it, and oh my God, he misplayed it. O'Neal Cruz, the ball over his head, and it is going to be a bases clearing double. Or is it a triple? For Brett Beatty, it's a triple. A bases clearing triple for Brett Beatty. O'Neal Cruz, the cardinal sin of outfielders. He took a couple steps in on the ball, and then he tried his best to book it back and make the catch, but it was well over his head, and this is another fly ball to Cruz. This one, he is shielding the sun, and oh my God! Oh my God! O'Neal Cruz has now made 2 errors. Are you kidding me? No sunglasses for O'Neal Cruz. He tried to shade his eyes, and the ball drops 5 feet to his left. Oh my goodness. It is 5-2 Mets. Are you kidding me? Another run came in to score. Semien to second base, and Paul, this is Last year, O'Neal Cruz, most errors among center fielders in baseball. I think second most minus defensive runs in baseball. And here he's shaking his head in center field. The wind is blowing there at Citi Field from left field to right, but still no excuse whatsoever. It is going to be a bat around the order inning for the New York Mets. And oh my God, from bad to worse. Paul Skeens strikes out Carson Benj on 3 pitches, but the first pitch he throws to Francisco Alvarez, it hits him. And now there's runners at first and second here. What the hell is going on here? I mean, seriously, what the hell is going on here? And Donnie Kelly's going to come pull Skeens. He doesn't even go a full first inning in the first start of the season. Oh my God. Just it's almost unspeakable. Paul Skeens, the reigning National League Cy Young Award winner. He does not go 1 inning in the season debut. The season opener. Yohan Ramirez is going to try to get the Pirates alive. Not, well or okay. Just trying to get the Pirates breathing out of this first inning. This is insane. You thought that you saw it all, and that Paul Skeens was untouchable. Quite honestly, he had 5 outs in that first inning, but only 2 of them got made. O'Neal Cruz cannot play center field. Please, for the love of God, truth. Agree. Please put Jake Mangum in. O'Neal Cruz, 2 errors back to back. That scores 4 runs for the Mets. A hit by a batter for Paul Skeens, and this is a gong show. This might be the quickest game day live stream ever, and that is no joke. Yohan Ramirez into the ball game here for the Pirates, and not sure who the hell's fault it is. Henry Davis doesn't catch the ball. It goes off of the end of his glove, and it moves each runner up 90 feet. From first and second to third and second. And Francisco Lindor is back up at the plate. This whole conga line of errors and just poor fundamentals It now circles. Ramirez 2-0 now on Lindor. If Francisco Lindor drives in these runs, or if he hits a home run, that might be grounds for shutting this off. Ramirez finally able to hit the strike zone. 2-1 now. Paul Skeens just no emotion whatsoever on the face of Paul Skeens, but you can tell he is absolutely furious right now. And Ramirez, this one, for the love of God, someone call it. And Brian Reynolds in left field is going to make the catch. And that was maybe the worst inning that I have ever seen the Pittsburgh Pirates play. And that it's saying something. That is a testament to how much of a garbage, quite frankly, excuse my French, shit show first inning that was. Paul Skeens doesn't go a full inning. Skeens, his final line, 2/3 of an innings pitched, 4 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned, even though, you can make an argument that only one's earned because Oneil Cruz has the IQ of a grape out in center field. 1 strikeout for Skeens. Paul Skeens, who has a career 1.96 ERA, when he makes his next pitching appearance, Skeens, he will have a 7.5 ERA. That is, I can't believe someone has to screenshot that for historical events that just I have nothing. I have nothing here. Unreal. 11 of you in here. Concepts in here. A few others as well. What in the hell did we just watch? And now we are pushing an hour into this live stream. First pitch in this ball game was 35 minutes ago, and we are just now going to begin the second inning. I cannot believe what I just watched. This is some say we're in. Oop, there we go. Fix that. Does someone, have any proof that we're in some sort of alternative timeline where, everything's upside down? Because that's the only explanation for that first inning. Pirates got a lot of work to do. Jared Triolo into bat, and he's already in an 0-2 count against Freddie Peralta. There we go. That's a good sign. 0-2. Tree against Peralta. Freddie Peralta, the last 3 batters he's faced, struck out all 3 of them, and Triolo able to foul that one back into the netting to keep the at-bat alive. I don't think Paul Skeens has moved at all since he got into the dugout. It's no joke. 0-2 again on Triolo. Able to spit on that breaking ball down and away. Count now to 1-2. I mean, if you're Donnie Kelly, how can you warrant putting Oneil Cruz back out in center field for the rest of this ball game today? You just saw him make the number one error that you're never supposed to do as an outfielder, a thing you learn in T-ball as Jared Triolo watches one right in the middle of the zone for strike 3. I mean, just runs in on the ball, and then it's like 50 feet behind him, and then on the bright ass, middle of the afternoon day, doesn't even have the idea of taking out sunglasses or putting them on out there, and he loses the ball in the sun, and that could have prevented Skeens from having another run against get him an out. Maybe Skeens gets out of the inning. I don't know. There's a ground ball to second base, and Marcus Semien makes the easy play on the backhand. So Spencer Horwitz quickly down. 2 away now for Freddie Peralta. Nick Gonzalez steps in. Played for Team Mexico in the World Baseball Classic, and he swings through that one for 0-1. A very cool gesture by Nick Gonzalez, switching his number to 3 this offseason. No longer wearing 39, paying homage to the now late, great Dave Parker. Just absolutely sad when he was right about to get inducted into the MLB Hall of Fame last year. He passes away. 0-2 on Gonzalez. Here's the pitch from Peralta, and it's a swinging bunt for Gonzalez. Francisco Alvarez fires to first on a spinorama, and that's the inning. What a play by Alvarez. Gonzalez cannot leg it out, and to the bottom of the second we go with Johan Ramirez. This is just when I thought, the Pirates couldn't do any more odd stuff and find a way to suck. They impress us. It's the most impressive thing that they can do. Unreal right now. I got nothing. I got nothing because this is absolutely unfathomable. We suck again. Well, I mean, I guess, it was, appropriate. Gonna unbutton the couple top buttons here on this here jersey. Don't think that everything's all perfect in Pirate Land. Oh yes, we still feel this way. We still are rocking with the sell the team movement. We still got that. Gonna let that show now. Pirates baseball's back. Jonathan Harvey here. Damn, Skeens got knocked out already. Pirates sent down Connor Griffin. Connor needs to be brought back up. He might help with scoring runs. At this point, I know he played outfield for all of his time before the Pirates drafted him. Do we think we can, have O'Neal Cruz and Connor Griffin switch things up again? Maybe we put Griffin in the outfield. Maybe we have Cruz, even though he was bad at shortstop. He is absolutely atrocious and a disgrace out in center field. Might as well, put Cruz back at shortstop and have Griffin play the outfield. Put the athleticism out there rather than, watching Cruz misread another fly ball. There's a chopper from Juan Soto taken to the bag by Spencer Horwitz, 1 gone here in the bottom of the second. Don Kelly, get your team motivated. I think he's a little bit blitzed by that offense. I mean, I think the team is going to show a little bit more, fight and emotion than what they had under Derek Shelton. But even, stuff like this catches managers off guard. You think Don Kelly woke up today with a contingency plan if Paul Skeens got knocked out before he made it through 1 inning? I don't think so. Bo Bichette steps back in. He got the run party started for the Mets back in the first. Sacrifice fly to right field that brought home Frankie Lindor. Paul Skeens already, I think, out of his jersey, just in a normal Pirate t-shirt now. Tying the career most for Skeens in runs in one game at 5. 1-2 now. After that one was fouled away by Soto. Oh yeah, I'm on top of it there, Concepts. I'm on top of it. Let's believe that. Oh my goodness. 2-2 now. For that ball. Go in here to Twitter, seeing how Twitter's burning down. There's a strikeout for Johan Ramirez, able to get get Bo Bichette. Now Jorge Polanco back up. Just an absolute nightmare. First inning for the Pirates. Polanco watches that first pitch. Breaking ball up and out of the zone. Love this post. Someone's already got the thank you fans graphic popped up for the Pirates. Might as well get those Pittsburgh Pirates eliminated from postseason contention tweets ready. Matter of fact, I got one. Ramirez here. 2-0 to Polanco. And now it's 3-0. Here we go again. And it's a 4-pitch walk for Johan Ramirez. Because, of course. Here we go again with Luis Robert Jr. That pitch down low. Ball 1. Ball 5. Ball 5. Ball 5. A walk. Later came around to score. Did Luis Robert in his first AB. Count now goes to 1-1. Looks like someone may be calling the game from the Pirates dugout. Got Henry Davis looking over to one of his coaches before each pitch. Pickoff move, Polanco back in. Head first slide. Johan Ramirez at least did get a start back in one of the final preseason tune-ups. This one, a chopper to second base. Triolo only plays the first, and the Pirates will get out of the second inning with no runs. How about that? Somebody get a party started. Now on to the third inning. I'm going to take a real quick first break here for today. We are now about approaching an hour into this ball game. We are on our way to the third inning. Back here in a moment. Welcome back to the absolute thrill and joy of watching Pittsburgh Pirates baseball. Top of the third inning here after an absolutely mind-blowing first inning. Pirates seemingly going to get off to a hot start. 2-run home run for Brandon Lau. Pirates follow up, getting that run support for Paul Skeens by having the most terrible half inning that I have seen in quite some time for the Pirates. That bottom half of the first inning might be one of the worst half innings in Pittsburgh Pirates history. So at least we got that documented on camera here, reacting to that. 9-1-2 due up for the Pirates. You got Henry Davis up to bat. Just hoping he can provide anything with the bat this season. 167 batting average last season, but couldn't really demote him or do anything with him because he's Paul Skeens' personal catcher and also no real thrilling catching options behind him. Joey Part seemingly lost the magic he had his first season in Pittsburgh as there's a ground ball. Bo Bichette over to first base. It pulled the first baseman Polanco off the bag, but he is able to apply the tag on Davis for out number 1. And now up to bat, Oneil Cruz. The man who, in large part, probably the most to blame for that absolutely disgraceful half inning of baseball. A Pony League outfielder. Maybe a better defensive first inning he could have provided than Oneil Cruz did. Running in on a baseball that ended up, 60 feet behind him. And also, with no sunglasses, losing the ball in the sun, watching the ball hit 5 feet to his left. And now Cruz going to continue this endless go around in his brain of when something bad happens, not being able to get out of his way. 0-2 already. Freddie Peralta for the Mets still out there. And Cruz sees that backdoor breaking ball down and outside. 1-2. Cruz not going to be able to repent for his errors in this game. But maybe he could lessen the sting a little bit if he can do anything with the bat. That pitch well below the zone. 2-2. Maybe get on base here for Brandon Lau again. Get some sort of pulse on the heart monitor here for the Pirates offense. And Cruz check swing, but does not go. 3-2 now. Cruz ran his first at-bat to a full count, 3-2. Was able to get a little squib single out to center field. What's he going to do here on this? 3-2. 3-2. Cruz foul. 93-mile-an-hour fastball above the zone. We do it again. Full count on Oneil Cruz. Peralta, the pitch. And that pitch is a walk. Wow. It's a challenge for the catcher, and this one is going to be a strikeout for Oneil Cruz. That was a real subtle hat tap for the catcher, Alvarez. Cruz starting his walk to first base. Pitch right on the black. He originally got the call, but the catcher said, "Nuh-uh, that was a strike. We're challenging it." And I think it was Peralta who made the challenge. Actually, he didn't tap his head. He just pointed to the umpire and said, "Hey, we're challenging." So, now 2 gone here in the top of the third. Brandon Lau back up to bat. Pitch from Peralta, and Lau just absolutely tattoos that one to right center field. And, oh boy, if there's any sort of consolation to take away from this horrendous start to this baseball game, the Pirates, they got an absolute mercenary at second base. Brandon Lau, another home run. It is 5-3. Got to play that one twice for Brandon Lau today. My goodness, that one he knew from the start. That first one he had down the right field line just got over the wall. He was a little bit curious if it was going to have the distance himself. That one, though, he knew it. Freddie Peralta, who drops down to a knee, knew it. And the Pirates, there's the little blip on the heart monitor. Brandon Lau, just keep getting that guy up to bat. It's just a matter, can we get guys on base for him? 2 for 2 to begin his Pirate career. As there's the board over here to my left going off. A solo shot for Brandon Lau. His second with the Bucks. 2 for 2 with 2 home runs and 3 ribbies for Mr. Lau. And now Brian Reynolds getting in on the scorebook today. There's a single for B-Ray. Ugly first at-bat for Reynolds. Struck out on 3 pitches, but that one able to find the gap in left field. Good stuff there from B-Ray. Now it's Marcell Ozuna. Can Ozuna improve? We know he's got the power to make a difference. Maybe tie up this ball game. What adjustment did he make from his first at-bat? And there's a first pitch strike in there from Freddie Peralta. 0-1. To the comments section here, SCSR Dad, another 5-er. That's 2 for Mr. Brandon Lau. Another home run for the second base acquisition from the Tampa Bay Rays, Brandon Lau. Ozuna. Again, count now 1-1. Pitch from Peralta, and Ozuna's going to send this one out to center field, and oh my goodness. Luis Robert Jr., he's got alligator arms. He could have made that catch easily, but he wanted to add some pizzazz on the dive as well. That was just showing off right there, Luis Robert Jr. So, Pirates do show a tiny bit of life there in the top of the third. They get one run back on a Brandon Lau solo home run. And it is 5-3 Mets, as I think Johan Ramirez is still going to go out there and try to eat up as much as he can innings-wise after Paul Skeens departed. Some other comments from you folks over the last little bit. Got concepts here again, not Skeens. Is all hope lost? For this game, I mean, maybe. Brandon Lau's, trying to put the team on his back here. But, as for Skeens season-wise, no, he'll be fine. You can't, play all 9 positions and, keep O'Neal Cruz from being an idiot out there in center field half the time defensively. Jonathan Harvey here. Hope the Pirates aren't going to finish like 72 and 90. Well, you put the numbers into existence here. Definitely look like a 72 and 90 team for most of this game so far. Where you at, O'Neal Cruz? You were balling with the Dominican Republic. Yeah, I mean, dude would show up off the bench for the DR, hit bombs, show off some wheels. They didn't put him out in the field defensively. They were actually very, very smart with that. But Cruz, definitely not the O'Neal Cruz from the WBC here so far in this one. Has a strikeout looking and 2 terrible fielding errors. Not sure if they'll pop up on the stat sheet at all as fielding errors, but we all know anybody with half a brain worth of knowledge in baseball here knows Cruz very much on the hook for those 2 runs. Seeing if there's some other stuff going on here. Looking at Twitter, seeing everybody else lose their mind. O'Neal Cruz, not the only one out there thinking O'Neal Cruz, just put him back at shortstop at this point. Make Jake Mangum the starting center fielder. Maybe put... the thing is about putting Cruz back at shortstop, I would love Jake Mangum to start in center. Do we then do a double positional switch and put Connor Griffin back in the outfield after you just got him to play shortstop full-time and he actually won the minor league Gold Glove at shortstop? Don't think that that's going to happen here. Brett Beatty back up to bat here for the Mets. 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the Mets lineup due up to start this bottom of the third inning. Gonna make the adjustment here to the score bug right now. Oh, and 2 on Beatty, getting a new piece of lumber after didn't like how the ball came off of his bat a moment ago. Skeens looking on. They just keep on, flashing the camera to him in the dugout. That pitch upstairs from Johan Ramirez misses. It's now 1-2. 21 pitches for Ramirez in an inning and a third of work. Here's the 1-2, and Beatty fouls that one off pretty sharply to the right. See here. Pirates are shifted to the right side. You got the shortstop Triolo just about as far as he can be over towards second base. Nick Gonzalez damn near playing the actual shortstop position right now. 1-2 on Beatty again, and that one is up and out again. 2-2. Ramirez set and delivers, and Beatty is going to pop this one up out of play. Here we go with another 10 pitch at bat. Might be getting to that point right now. The 2-2 again, and Beatty watches that one inside. 3-2. Full count. Ramirez pitch. Beatty swings and misses. Strike 3. 1 away here in the bottom of the third. Marcus Semien now back up to bat. 0-1 on him. First pitch, strike looking from Ramirez, and now this pitch off of Ramirez's glove. He's gonna. Oh my God! Here we go. Here we go. Marcus Semien just hit that ball back. It goes off of the glove of Ramirez, the pitcher. Ramirez gets to the ball in time, and he makes the throw to first, but it is wide of the mark. It would have beat Semien if it was on target. He almost caught that on the fly, actually, did Ramirez. Hit right off of the cuff of his glove. Line drive right back to him from Semien. Would have been nice for Ramirez to snag that one, but now after the error, Semien stands at second. And here's Carson Benj again, right fielder for the Mets. Rookie. Sees that one miss inside, 1-0. They just keep on. It's just, the same thing over and over again. They keep panning back to Skeens every, other pitch here now. That one fouled. There's Skeens again. They're really documenting Paul Skeens in his worst big league start thus far. They're definitely making sure they get any sort of reaction he has. 1-1 now after the foul by Benj. Ramirez shaking off that pitch calm call. Comes set again. Semien, the runner at second. Pick, and it is in there. Nice backdoor sweeper, 84 miles an hour from Ramirez. Called strike number 2. Benj, minor leagues last year. 281 batting average, 15 home runs. One of the top prospects in the Mets system. The Pirates will see another top prospect in the Mets system on Sunday. That'll be Nolan McLean, who will pitch for the Mets against Carmen Mlodzinski. Series will be off tomorrow, and then it'll resume on the weekend. Another pitch from Ramirez went back to that same sweeper on the back door. It was fouled away by Benj. 1-2 still. Here's a look at Mets manager Carlos Mendoza. Mendoza and Walker, both former New York Yankees that they just showed a minute ago. Ramirez now, he finally ends the battle and wins it against Benj. Strikeout for Johan. And it now makes it 2 away in the inning here for the Pirates. At least the Pirates are having success against one hitter in this Mets lineup. You got Skeens, who struck out Benj in the first, and now Ramirez here in the third gets him as well. Now brings up the number 9 hitter, Francisco Alvarez. And Ramirez work out of the inning again. First pitch to Alvarez. Wide of the mark for ball 1. Alvarez was hit by a pitch by Skeens back in the first. As a matter of fact, I think Alvarez, I think he might have been the second to last batter that Skeens faced. Pitch in there from Ramirez. Henry Davis came up like he was going to fire to second, but held on to the ball. 1-1. Alvarez steps in. Lead from second by Semien, and Alvarez skies this one into left field. Brian Reynolds over. He is going to take initiative and make the catch. Every single fly ball this season, until they prove otherwise, it is going to be an absolute adventure out there in the outfield. Cruz, Reynolds, and O'Hearn. Outstanding. Pirates baseball. 5-3 after 3. We head to the 4th. And take another break. Stay where you are. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty, just like that, as soon as we come back, 1 out here in the top of the fourth inning. I think it was a first pitch ground out for Ryan O'Hearn to the first baseman, Jorge Polanco. So quickly now stepping in. Only got like a few swings in the on-deck circle. It is Jared Triolo. He watches that pitch miss outside. It is now 1-1 on the big tree. Things not going the Pirates' way. Not all particularly well here in this ball game so far. The only player who showed up to the ballpark today ready to win, Brandon Lau, second baseman for the Pirates. He alone, the reason this ball game is within 2 runs of being tied. That pitch fouled off, back out of play by Jared Triolo. Freddie Peralta still out there working for the Mets. Up to 54 pitches in the ball game now. 2-2 on Triolo. Pitch from Peralta. Triolo grounds this one. Chopper, shortstop, charging Lindor. Throw to first, and he gets Triolo by a step. 2 away now in the top of the fourth. Few breezy groundouts for O'Hearn and Triolo, and now Spencer Horwitz will step in with 2 outs. Defense in the infield for the Mets has been solid to this point in the ball game. Horwitz watches that pitch inside for ball 1. 272 batting average last year. 11 home runs, a 787 OPS for Horwitz in 2025. One of the most consistent batters in the Pirates lineup when he was healthy. I think he missed the start of the season with a wrist injury. But when he came back, took him a tiny bit to, get the power back up with the bat, but does know how to get on base. Hoping to build on his season from last year. He's not going to do it on this at-bat. It's a fly out to the left fielder, Juan Soto, to end the inning. And that was an 8-pitch, I believe, top of the fourth for Freddie Peralta. He is rolling right now for the New York Mets. 9 of you in here been seeing the number bounce up and down throughout the day so far. Already over an hour and a half into the stream right now. And we're just going to be getting to the halfway point of the ball game here. That first inning took forever to get through. Any thoughts, questions, or opinions that you have on the game thus far, feel free to let your voice be heard in the comments section. God knows that I am wearing my emotions about this Pirates team on my sleeve right now and on my chest. Still got the old sell the team jersey on. Also subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that you never miss a thing here on the channel again. Again, if you're just joining us through around halfway through the game at this point, Pirates started off the ball game with a bloop and a blast. The blast coming from Brandon Lau. But then the bottom of the first inning, one of the worst half innings you will ever see in Pirates history. 5 runs against Paul Skeens, who threw, I think, damn near 40 pitches. O'Neal Cruz unable to make a routine play in center field. Every single thing hit to him is an absolute trip. Paul Skeens gets yanked. Brandon Lau again would hit a home run just an inning ago. That is how we reach this point. We'll see if Yohan Ramirez is going to go back out and get to work. Wonder what this does for the Pirates rotation in the rest of this series, because you got Mitch Keller I mean, Keller, a pretty consistent innings eater. But today, I mean, with Skeens only going 2/3 of an inning, it's pretty much a bullpen game. And Carmen Majinski, who pitches on Sunday, I mean, maybe on a good day he gets through the lineup, 2 go-arounds. But you'll be going into the bullpen pretty early in that game as well. So you got to wonder, how the Pirates divvy up things with the arms here to get out of this first series in one piece. Indeed, Johan Ramirez is out of the ball game. His day is done through around 30 pitches, if I had to guess. New guy, is on the bump. It is Mason Montgomery. He acquired in that 3-team trade that brought Brandon Lowe to Pittsburgh. As a matter of fact, Montgomery may be the least enticing, addition the Pirates made in that trade, and that is not to be any sort of slight whatsoever. They brought in Lowe. They brought in the speedy outfielder, defense extraordinaire, and on-base guy Jake Mangum. And then Montgomery thrown in there as a bullpen arm. He'll walk his first batter, Francisco Lindor. Montgomery still, a little bit of tweaks and development needed for his game, but he had a damn impressive spring training, lighting up the radar gun, being efficient, and now he's going to be put in a tough spot here to begin the regular season. Walked Francisco Lindor. He's now up 0-1 on Juan Soto. Gets a swinging foul for strike one. Montgomery, I do think, comes from a bit of a starting pitcher background as well, where he used to start coming up through the minor leagues with the Tampa Bay Rays, but quickly developed into a bullpen arm. Actually, a little shocking that they went with Johan Ramirez right away after Skeens. You would think Skeens only going 2/3 of an inning, that Jose Urquidy or maybe even Hunter Barco, 2 guys who do know how to start, are very experienced at it. Barco, a starter throughout his journey up through the minors, and Urquidy, who's a seasoned big leaguer, pitching in the bottom of rotations. Little shocked we haven't seen Urquidy or Barco yet in this game. Instead, we're going to middle relievers, not guys that can only go an inning, but guys that, you'd be pushing it if you put them out there for more than 2 in Ramirez and now Montgomery. That foul there for Juan Soto. Apologies for, not telling the count or anything. The count, the score bug on the screen here, they do not have it up right now. They're having some issues with that. Going to go with the count here on MLB.com. 2-2 on Soto. Checks his swing there. Count is now 2-2. Okay. So this next pitch will be a 2-2 pitch. Soto signing, of course, the mega of all mega deals with the Mets 2 off seasons ago. Getting some Barry Bonds level money. Lead at first base taken by Lindor. Montgomery, the pitch. Soto fouls it off again, off to the left. Count remains at 2-2. Opening day in Flushing, New York. 5-3, the score here. Bottom of the 4th, pitch from Montgomery, and that one sweeps away from Soto. Count now to 3-2 as the score bug makes its return. Montgomery comes set. Looks over and pickoff throw to Lindor. Lindor gets back standing. 3-2. Still. Montgomery trying to execute a good pitch here to one of the best hitters in baseball, to Soto, and that one not even competitive. 99-mile-an-hour fastball, but did not locate it a single bit. And it is a walk to Soto. Back-to-back walks to start this fourth inning. Good Lord. Now, very dangerous hitter, Bo Bichette at the plate. Bichette, a righty against the lefty pitcher, Montgomery. Two fast men on the base pads in Lindor and Soto. Swing and a miss there by Bichette. Count now runs to 0-2. Montgomery, the 0-2, and there's some nice dandy work made right there on Bichette. Goes up the ladder to get the strikeout on 3 pitches. Did Mason Montgomery. That was hugely needed, and 1 away now in the bottom of the 4th. No rest for the weary. Jorge Polanco will now step into the batter's box. Polanco 1 for 1 in the ball game. Had that swinging bunt that he raced to first back in the first inning. Pickoff at second base by Mason Montgomery. Lindor slides back in head first and stays safe. Montgomery. Here's the pitch. And that one is in the dirt. Henry Davis able to keep it in front of him and scramble to it quickly. Lindor does not move up. It stays first and second. Great job by Henry Davis behind the plate for the most part thus far. Not letting too much get past him. 1-0 again here. Montgomery the pitch, and that one middle of the strike zone, slightly up. And Polanco fouls it back to the screen. One and one. Montgomery delivers, and that pitch up and out. Four-seamer. 99 miles an hour, trying to locate that fastball a little bit better. He's spraying it everywhere. Either missing a little bit too much in the zone or missing up and out of it. Montgomery, the 2-1. And Polanco swings, drives this one. O'Neal Cruz looking for it, and he makes the catch in the gap. Oh, good Lord. O'Neal Cruz, the entire time that he was running after that ball, had his glove up again, like he was shading his eyes from the sun, and thought for, a second he wasn't going to make the catch again, but he does right before the wall out there in left center, and the throw-in holds Lindor at second base. So 2 gone now, and an 0-1 count to the number 5 hitter, Luis Robert Jr. Montgomery, his pitch. That was down below the zone, and it is no swing for Robert. Cruz still not wearing any sort of eyewear or sunglasses out there in center field. Doesn't even use eye black either to help, absorb some of the sun, help out your eyes a little bit. Doesn't even have that. Does Cruz. Just straight nothing out there. And so it makes the sun a little difficult. 1-2 now for Montgomery. Luis Robert looking to bring home another run here for the Mets. Pitch from Montgomery. Robert, grounder through the left side. Reynolds coming up. His throw to the plate. It is strong, but it is well offline. And there it is from Luis Robert Jr. Triolo deep in the hole at shortstop. Made a diving attempt at it, but it was out of his reach. Reynolds, very powerful throw from left field, but it was well wide to where Lindor could go in standing up. Davis had to go about 10 feet to his right to just make sure he blocked the ball from going past him. 6-3, New York. Now Brett Beatty, the designated hitter for the Mets, back into the batter's box. As the first RBI for Luis Robert Jr. in his Mets career. Pitch here to Beatty is just above the zone from Mason Montgomery. It's now 1-1. Montgomery pitch again. Slider outside. Count now to 2-1. Not too much stress right now for Mets manager Carlos Mendoza. Montgomery buzzing all around the strike zone, but unable to, clip a corner, clip a bit of it. Count now to 3-1. Now he's got to bring something into the zone here to Beatty. And Beatty swings through that 98-mile-an-hour heater. Up in the zone. Count now full 3-2. Can Mason Montgomery limit the damage? Get the Pirates' bats back into the dugout. The pitch. And it is right there. Not sure what specific pitch that Brett Beatty was waiting for right there. It certainly wasn't, a middle fastball, because that's what he got. And we are off now to the 5th inning. With the Pirates trailing by another run, it is 6-3. An RBI single for Luis Robert Jr. Going to take another quick break. Back here for the top of the 5th. The Buccos needing to get back to work big time with the bats. Welcome back. Top of the fifth is going to start off with a bloop single out to center field. Right into no man's land between the two outfielders and the second baseman for Nick Gonzalez. Pirates have a runner here in the top of the fifth, trying to maybe get to Freddie Peralta a little bit as he works deeper into his day. Bucks trailing 6-3 right now. All the damage by the Mets done. Well, about 5/6 of the damage done by the Mets in the first inning. And this one's going to be hit down the left field line. And the Pirates, how about this? They're going to get another run. They get that run immediately back. Henry Hank Hammerin Davis is going to make things 6-4. His first hit of the season. It is an RBI double past the diving third baseman, Bo Bichette, into the corner. Gonzalez scores with ease. Davis in the second, standing up. Continuing to pull the ball extremely hard, does Davis, but that time it worked for him, and it snuck past the glove of Bichette. And now here's where the Pirates, maybe they can do a little bit of cooking here. Maybe they can make a ball game out of this after all. Nobody out, runner on second. You just scored a run to cut the deficit to 2. You got O'Neal Cruz up to bat. Hopefully he's able to shake everything out of his brain he had going on back earlier this game. And then you got Brandon Lau with 2 homers on the day behind him. Come on. Door is cracked open for the Pirates. To make this a brand new ball game, they got to go and kick the door down right now. It's 1-1 on Cruz. Peralta in the stretch comes set and delivers. Cruz swinging over that changeup. 88 miles an hour. Still those low pitches giving O'Neal Cruz fits. Anything below his knees that has enticing movement on it swings over the top of it. It's now 1-2. Davis, a healthy lead at second. Pitch from Peralta, and Cruz just lunging at that one down and out of the zone, making contact. Stays alive, 1-2. Had that bloop single in the first inning. Came around to score with Lau hitting a home run behind him. This one down and away from Cruz. Count now to 2-2. Lau waiting patiently on deck. Cruz trying to be productive. Keep the lineup moving here. The pitch. And Cruz here is going to swing and miss on the strikeout. And the bat flew out of his hands as he swung. It went all the way to the bat boy for the Mets. Yeah, that bat went all the way into the netting. It hit the netting about 5 feet to the left of the bat boy. And that is another ugly strikeout for O'Neal Cruz. And he is fuming right now, Cruz. But hey, Brandon Lau back up here. He's going to ground this one to the right side, but foul. Can Brandon Lau do it a third time? Can lightning strike a third time? It would be a hell of a moment here for Brandon Lau in his Pirates debut to single-handedly tie up the ball game at 6 apiece. 0-1 on Lau. The pitch from Peralta, and Lau wanted that one really, really badly. A slider left up in the zone, but he was just out in front of it. Maybe got a little bit too excited at the sight of that hanging meatball. Takes his time out here. Does Lau. Davis again. Takes his lead at second. Lindor right behind him. The pitch from Peralta up and outside for ball 1. No movement yet in the Mets bullpen. Peralta, this will be his 71st pitch of the ball game coming up. Got to wonder if there's any sort of pitch limit on him for his first start of the season. Pitch Peralta to Lau, and Lau doing a good job to fight that one off again and stay alive. It is still 1-2. Lau could be the 5th player in season opener history to hit 3 home runs in a game. The last to do it was Matt Davidson with the Cubs in 2018. Pitch in the dirt from Peralta. Runs the count now even at 2-2. Be a history book making moment here for Brandon Lau if he can get a hold of another one. Home plate umpire cleans off the plate. Lau steps back in. 2-2. Reynolds waiting in the wings on the on-deck circle. Here's the delivery from Peralta. Now it goes. Another pitch well outside. That one, ugly breaking ball that was nowhere near the zone. Count to 3-2. Looking to get a hit, or at the very least get on base here for Lau. Full count. The pitch from Peralta, and Lau is going to ground this one. It's going to be a productive out for Lau. Ground ball chopper to the second baseman, Semien. Lau out at first, but Henry Davis moves up 90 feet to third base, and now a hit anywhere in the yard is going to make it a 1-run ball game for the Buccos, and that was a one-handed swing, too, from Brandon Lau. Was adjusting as that pitch was coming in and just flung the bat out at the ball, and that's why it was such weak contact. 0-1 on Brian Reynolds. He watches that first pitch in there for a strike. 1 for 2 with a single for B-Ray. Would love to get another single right here. Bring home that runner 90 feet away. Pitch here to Reynolds again. And it's a strike. Fouling that one away. 0-2 now for Reynolds. We have now action in the Mets bullpen. Looks like manager Carlos Mendoza could be going from one former Milwaukee Brewer to another, Tobias Myers, who I think was also brought over in the same trade as Peralta. He is warming in the bullpen. That breaking ball down in the dirt from Peralta. Count to 1-2. Good block behind the plate there by Alvarez. Davis could take, double the lead he currently has. The third baseman, Bichette, nowhere near the bag. Reynolds on the 1-2, holds off. Seems like Freddie Peralta keeps trying to go back to that breaking ball, trying to backdoor it or get a chase outside the zone. Unable to get Reynolds to chase thus far. Count now even at 2-2. Reynolds. And we got a step off here from Peralta. Now getting his foot back on the rubber. Now here comes the 2-2 delivery. And the pitch. And Reynolds again. Hell of an at-bat here for Brian Reynolds. All the blanks are now out of the chamber for Freddie Peralta. Third consecutive breaking ball in the dirt that Alvarez has needed to block. And Reynolds has worked the count back to full after starting the at-bat 0-2. Already a huge moment in this ball game here, top of the 5th. But before the huge moment commences, we'll have a mound visit here from Francisco Alvarez going out to talk to Peralta. Very well with Tobias Myers warming out in the bullpen. Not quite sure how long he's been warming up to this point. Could very well be his last batter of the ball game here with Brian Reynolds. This will be the 80th pitch of the day here for Peralta to Reynolds. Henry Davis at third. 90 feet away from making it a one-run ball game. Reynolds, 3-2 at the plate. The pitch from Freddie Peralta, and he gets Reynolds. If it didn't work the first 3 times, throw it a 4th. Peralta elevates the breaking ball just a little bit, and Reynolds chasing it, swings and misses, and off to the bottom of the 5th inning now. 10 of you in here, on your way in, please hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so that you never miss a thing on the channel. Like, share in the comment section what you're thinking, what's on your mind around this ball game right now. Please let me know if you're feeling the mixed emotions I am. Brandon Lau and the Bats trying to keep this game close, but that first inning still just draining energy and confidence-wise for this big league club. Ooh, that is bad wordage. Looking here at Twitter, you got a pregame video of Paul Skeens walking out to go warm up in the bullpen, and the Pirates, let's go to the bullpen with Paul Skeens. And yeah, I think people are going to have some jokes about that one. By the way, Skeens today, an anomaly, a very once in, a blue moon performance from him. People making a big deal about his outing. He's going to be quite fine here. He's going to be quite fine. He'll reel it back in. Also, defense behind him, you would assume, would be a tiny bit better as well. Looks like got a better look here at the home run welder mask that the Pirates are wearing for their home run celebrations. Pirates will be celebrating home runs and other stuff with authentic gear they obtained from local steelworkers. That is pretty cool. Really getting into the community spirit. Back to the game here. To my right, bottom of the 5th now. This game moving at a glacier pace, and just let out that sigh of relief. Another fly ball was just hit there to O'Neal Cruz. Again, puts the glove up to, shield his eyes from the sun. He makes that catch for out number 1. That was Marcus Semien who flew out. Now it's Carson Benj who steps back in, and again, every single fly ball to center field, it's going to be a hold your breath moment this season for O'Neal Cruz. Deeper dive into Carson Benj, 19th overall pick in the MLB draft 2 years ago, 23 years old. Went to Oklahoma State for college ball. Sees that pitch inside, 1-1. Benj 0 for 2. The only Met that has really not gotten into the producing party today. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, and he's going to foul this one into the first row of seats behind the Pirates dugout. Doesn't hit off the top of the dugout, just hits off some dude's leg, it looked like, there in the first row. 1-2 now on Benj. Mason Montgomery still out there pitching for the Pirates, and that pitch bounces in the dirt. Lucky that Benj did not swing at that one, because it bounced about 15 feet to the right of Henry Davis, and Davis had no idea where that ball went. 2-2. Pitch from Montgomery, and Benj fouls it off. 2-2. still. Montgomery working on 35 pitches right now. Wonder how much of a leash he has here from manager Donnie Kelly. And that pitch there, ramping up the velocity again, 98. Bad news is that it was even above the head of the batter Benj. Full count now. The catcher Alvarez on deck. The pitch from Montgomery, and it is fouled away. 97-mile-an-hour four-seamer. Count now. Stay full at 3-2, and you got Benj taking his timeout. Pirates indeed do have a man up in the bullpen, so Montgomery is going to be reaching his limit here, and that pitch inside on Benj, and he walks him. So the Mets, with one out, have a base runner. Isaac Matson is the man warming in the bullpen for the Buccos. Appropriate nickname for him, not only just for what he did last year, but for what he's going to need to do in this game. The tourniquet, Isaac Matson, could be coming into the ball game here soon, and he's going to need to have one of the most tourniquet-like performances of his young big league career. And indeed, Donnie Kelly is going to bring in Matson right now. So Montgomery, he's done after around 40 pitches. Went an inning and a third. Decent debut at the Bucks. Did give up a run, but you know, you'll take anything you can get from this pitching staff right now against this Mets lineup. So Isaac Matson is going to come on now. Matson last year, really the surprise story out of the bullpen for the Bucks. Was used pretty sparingly under old manager Derek Shelton. But then when Donnie Kelly took over, you really saw Matson get put into an elevated role, really establish himself as eventually this year a seventh or eighth inning type of setup pitcher. Maybe he's in that same role this year, maybe he's not. Only time will tell. Last year for Matson, 2.45 ERA, had believe here 47 and 2/3 innings pitched. Was able to strike out 45 batters in those almost 48 innings. 44 games appeared for Matson. 3 saves. That was, I think, after the trade of David Bednar, and maybe you had a night every now and again where Dennis Santana was down, not being able to pitch. So now Matson coming on here in the 5th inning to try to keep the score where it is, keep giving the Pirates opportunities here to catch up to the Mets. Matson now into the ball game as the game comes back from commercial. Benj on base for the Mets. Matson against Alvarez, and then the lineup will turn over back to Francisco Lindor. First pitch from Matson, firing it right in there for strike number 1. Alvarez 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch in the ball game. Matson pitching from the stretch. Very short and compact windup from him. One of the quicker deliveries in the Pirates bullpen. That was swung on and missed by Alvarez. Count now to 0-2. Matson. Very intimidating look, and he is attacking Alvarez as that pitch was on the outside half of the strike zone, fouled out of play. No sort of messing around or dancing around the batters here for Isaac Matson. He's a dude who comes in and means no business out of the bullpen. All business from number 72. Alvarez steps back in after taking his timeout. 0-2 again from Matson. The pitch, and Alvarez is going to flare this one into right field. O'Hearn is going to stop that one on one hop. So Alvarez shortens his swing, makes the adjustment, and is able to put that ball back the other way into right field. Opposite field single for him. And now danger again looming for the Pirates. It's now going to be Francisco Lindor followed by Juan Soto with 2 on and 1 out here in the 5th. Lindor 0 for 1 today. He's had a couple of walks. That pitch outside from Matson. Ball 1. Both times that Lindor has made it on base, he's come around to score. 1-0 from Matson, and it is in there. Umpire a little bit delayed in giving that strike call. Looked like Henry Davis was about to reach up and maybe tap his head a little bit, but got the call anyways. 1-1. Matson comes set. Delivers to Lindor, and that pitch, pretty nasty, for being honest, from Matson outside. It's a 2-seam fastball that was in the zone, or right on the edge of the strike zone, halfway to the plate, but then it tailed out too much. 2-1 to Lindor. Another fastball up and out of the zone, and now it's 3-1. It was aggressiveness early from Matson. Now he's fallen behind, and he's maybe trying to dance too much around Lindor, but bad news for him. You're only going to load up the bases if you walk him with Juan Soto coming up, and that's indeed what he does. That 3-1 pitch, nowhere near the strike zone, and bases are juiced now for Juan Soto. It's like you got Donnie Kelly and bench coach Chris Truby in the dugout having a conversation on the dugout steps. And now this is going to be a tough situation for Isaac Matson. Bases are loaded, and one of the best hitters in baseball is at the plate. Big moment here for Matson. First pitch to Soto, and that pitch, changeup, looked good, but Soto spit on it as it broke down and out of the zone. Ball 1. 2 career grand slams for Juan Soto, a .317 batting average with the bases loaded. And again, Matson, the pitch in the strike zone for half of the distance to the plate, and then it tails out again. Soto spitting on some filthy pitches right now. 2-0. Hitters count for Soto. Matson winds and delivers, and boy, got a little bit of help there from Soto. That pitch was pretty well up and out of the zone, but Soto, his eyes lit up like Christmas trees, and he swung out of his spine at it. The 2-1 now from Matson, and Soto grounder, and it's, oh my goodness, it's through. 2 runs, or it's going to be just 1 run here for the Mets. They add on another run, back to a 3-run lead. The Pirates had Soto shifted to the right side of the infield. You had Jared Triolo playing pretty much dead behind second base, and the ball was hit right to where Triolo would have been standing had the Pirates not been in a shift situation. What could have been a routine double play instead is an RBI single for Soto. The bases are still loaded with 1 out, and Bo Bichette now steps in. 3-run lead for New York. Bichette 0 for 2 with a sac fly in the game today, but he can make a grand entrance in his first game with the Mets right here. Pitch from Matson, and Bichette fouls it off to the right side out of play. It's now 1 ball, 1 strike. Got Alvarez, the catcher, at third. Lindor at second. Soto at first. Matson, the pitch. Bichette watches that one well up and out of the zone. 2-1. Matson starting to sweat on the mound now. A little bit more. Bichette awaits. Pitch from Matson, and another high swinging strike there from Matson, getting the chase up and out of the zone. 2-2. Couldn't catch up to the heat. No one ever does, really. Up and out of the zone like that. In on the hands a little bit. 2-2. Matson comes set. In the delivery. And that one even further in on Bichette, and he still got a piece of it with the bat. Show the replay of that, because that pitch almost hit Bichette, and he still swung at it. Very late starting the swing, and it goes just off the bat. Barely. Count remains at 2-2. Matson, the pitch. Bichette, again a foul ball, and that one caught Henry Davis a little bit with the mask. Appears to be all right. 2-2. Still. Battle here between Matson and Bichette. Paul Skeens still looking on. His start almost non-existent today. Bichette climbs back in. Here's the pitch from Matson again. And this time again, Bichette still fighting. That pitch was middle, and another late swing for Bo Bichette. Fouled it off. And it's been all fastballs really here from Matson. Bichette maybe waiting for an off-speed pitch, and Matson's going to get a pop-up, but it's going to be out of play. It is strictly, except for that last pitch, that one was an 86-mile-an-hour changeup. A steady diet of fastballs to begin this at-bat, but even Bichette still ready to foul off that changeup. 2-2 for the 5th time at least, and another one. They're going to do it again. Another lengthy battle here from one of these Mets players. This will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat coming up here from Matson to Bichette. 2-2. Matson comes set and delivers, and Bichette again a foul. Right there at the bottom of the zone. Doesn't matter if the pitch is high, doesn't matter if it's low, doesn't matter if it's right down the middle. Bichette finding a way to keep fouling off these pitches right now. Bill Murphy, the pitching coach, looks on. Another 2-2 to Bichette. And still again a foul. What is going on? This at-bat will see a 12th pitch, and something's got to give here. 11 of the 12 pitches in this at-bat, or 10 of the 11, and now make it 11 of the 12 have been fastballs. Another foul. I don't know. I'm not going to act like I know what the MLB record is for most pitches in an at-bat, but I mean, holy hell. 2-2 for like the 10th time. The pitch, and finally it ends. A swinging strikeout. Isaac Matson Goes up the ladder again on Bichette. And he finally gets him to miss. Even though it didn't result in anything more than a strikeout for Bichette, that still is a very pleasing at-bat for the Mets. And now Jorge Polanco got a fatigued pitcher on the mound. Could he do some damage? Did Bichette soften up Matson, where now Polanco can get the big hit? 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. 1-0. Here's the pitch from Matson. 2-0 now. Oh. Matson approaching 30 pitches now in this one inning. It's going to be the 29th pitch of his outing, and that one's up and out. 3-0. No room to put him. He's got to throw something in the zone or he walks in a run. His control being lost by Matson. Here's the pitch. The 3-0. Actually, pitch was not coming. Matson stepped off for a second. Now we're going to resume here. Comes set. Here's the 3-0. And misses. Ball 4. A 4-pitch walk after the Bichette war. And the Mets score their 8th run on a freebie. No sign from Donnie Kelly going out to get Matson yet. Luis Robert Jr. now in. And that first pitch of the at-bat was fouled right back into the mask of the home plate umpire. 0-1. Matson nods. The 0-1 to Robert. So up and out of the zone. Count now to 1-1. Robert steps back in. Matson comes set the delivery, and this is going to be an excuse me dribbler, and oh my goodness. A check swing from Luis Robert Jr. to the right side. It goes past Matson. Horwitz ends up getting it. Matson cannot get to the bag in time. And another run scores. 9-4. And now a pitch in the dirt. Thank God it didn't roll away from Henry Davis. Still bases loaded with 2 gone. And movement in the Pirates bullpen finally from Donnie Kelly. You got Justin Lawrence up and moving. The 1-0 here from Matson to Brett Beatty. The Mets getting close to batting around the order again. And this one down and out for Matson. 2-0. have a bit of a pause in the action here. Beatty was about to pitch again. Bill Murphy, Pirates' new pitching coach, out to pay him a visit. Really felt like he could have used a mound visit, I don't know, something like 2 batters ago before we, had a run get walked in, and then that whatever it was a moment ago. Mound visit now coming to an end. Murphy heading back to the dugout. Matson gonna resume his position on the mound. Double sliding mitts there for Luis Robert Jr. 1 for 3 with a 3-run triple back in the first inning for Beatty. That was the error by Cruz, and Matson is going to finally execute a pitch to get out of it. Routine fly ball to Brian Reynolds. Strands the bases loaded, but the damage already done by the Mets. Their lead extended to 9-4. Pirates just a half inning ago were one big swing away from tying it up. Now they're down by 5 again. Back here in a minute. This is getting very ugly. Back here for the 6th inning in this absolutely horrendous and very long ball game. We are just now starting the 6th inning, and we are now 2.5 hours, over 2.5 hours into the live stream here this evening. The Pirates in a big one right now, a big old hole. Reason why? Starting pitcher comparison right there. Paul Skeens just 2/3 of an inning today, 5 earned runs against. 4 of those runs came off of 2 mental gaffes in the outfield by O'Neal Cruz, who, did not get credited with errors, but we all know deep down those are on him. Meanwhile, Freddie Peralta was dealing all day for the most part for the Mets. His day is now done. Tobias Myers is in for the Mets. Gets a first at-bat pop out for Marcell Ozuna. Now you got Ryan O'Hearn up at the plate. The only batter who was consistently worth a damn today in the Pirates lineup, Brandon Lau with 2 home runs. That pitch up and away for ball 2 to O'Hearn. Myers acquired from the Brewers along with Freddie Peralta. O'Hearn sees this pitch well up and out of the zone. It's going to be ball 3 now. 3-0 count on the right fielder O'Hearn. A strikeout and a ground out to his name so far in this one. And Myers fires in a strike there at the knees. Any chance the Pirates have left in this one today? They got the starter Peralta out of there. Maybe they can find some sort of advantage here against a relief pitcher, but it's getting dark real early here for these Buccos. Full count now on O'Hearn. Fouled off that 3-1 a moment ago. Myers delivers. And O'Hearn hits this one the other way to left field. Back, track, wall, and gone! Ryan O'Hearn, the new guy, doing some big lifting right there. It's only 1 run, but it is a start. Ryan O'Hearn joining the home run party today with Brandon Lau. Taking that one the other way, Mr. O'Hearn, he puts on the welder shield. 3-2 count. Pitch a little up in the zone, and he smacked it the other way just over the wall. So now that makes it 3 home runs on the day for this Pirates lineup. That's at least a silver lining to this overall horrible opening day. The Pirates last year, pretty rotten in the power department, hitting home runs, but already 3 today. In game number 1 of the season, all three of those from 2 of your new guys, 2 from Lau, 1 from O'Hearn. I think you'll take that if you're the Pirates. Jared Triolo in a 2-0 count skies this one to center field, and that is going to be caught out there pretty easily by Luis Robert Jr. 2 gone now here in the top of the 6th. Brings up Spencer Horwitz now. O'Hearn gonna need to get the dimensions on that home run. Kind of like the Lau home run. Didn't get too much on it, but just enough. For the comments section, SESR Dad, another 5er, that's 3. At least we're gonna take that on a very positive note today. The Pirates actually have some bats with some pop in their lineup. When's the last time you could say that with complete and total certainty? Thomas Dowdy in here. Don't worry, the Nationals are owning the Cubbies too. NL East owning us Central partners today. Yeah, I mean, haven't really checked in on any of the other ball game scores out there. Let me do that real quick on this next half inning. 1-1 count here on Spencer Horwitz. I'll get to the other ball games going on right now in a moment. So this is going to be the end of the inning here. Pop up on the infield right behind the pitcher mound. Bo Bichette calls everyone off, and the Pirates only able to have one little pop of offense. Ryan O'Hearn gets 1 run back with a solo home run, his first of the year, but the Pirates still trailing right now 9-5. Look at the other games going on. Yeah, the Nationals, they are beating up on the Cubbies. It is 7-2 in that game. That's in Wrigley, too. It's bottom of the fourth in that game. Looks like Ballesteros, the designated hitter, is up right now. Looking here at the Cubbies, Matt Boyd, 3 2/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, gave up 1 home run. Also, Ben Brown gave up a home run as well out of the pen. So he got through 4 innings there, 7 runs against the Cubbies. Not a good start for Matt Boyd, but certainly a little bit better than Paul Skeens here. Cade Cavalli is in the pitch right now, starting for the Nationals. He's up to 70 pitches here today. The other National League Central game of interest going on right now, the Milwaukee Brewers, they are up on the Chicago White Sox 4-1. That game is in the bottom of the fourth inning. The Brewers in that game, I believe Mizorowski got the opening day start. He's through 4 innings, only giving up 1 run in 3 walks, but he struck out 10 for Mizorowski. So he's got his strikeout stuff working so far today. Got Joey Ortiz, their shortstop, who's 2 for 2 today with 2 RBIs. It's now 5-1, actually, for the Brewers. I think Joey Ortiz just hit a single to bring home David Hamilton, so now make it 5-1. The fourth game that is currently ongoing as well, old manager Derek Shelton and the Minnesota Twins, they are tied with the Baltimore Orioles. It is 0-0 in the bottom of the second. Other games about to get underway momentarily. Boston Red Sox and Cincinnati Reds. That game about to start here soon. Same thing for the Detroit Tigers and San Diego Padres. Back here to this ball game, 9-5 here. Bottom 6. You have the new pitcher on the mound for the Pirates, indeed, Justin Lawrence. He's coming on to make his first appearance of the season. He'll face the bottom of the Mets lineup, 7-8-9, beginning with Marcus Semien, but he is 2 for 3 today. Some other comments from you fine folks here. Thomas Dowdy here again. I forgot to give the memo to the Brew Crew today. Seriously, let's hope for some comebacks. NL Central power. Yeah, I mean, the NL Central, probably the weakest league in the National League, but oddly enough, in terms of, star power, the weakest, but in terms of, it's always, competitive. I'd, give the NL Central that. Craig Werlow in here. Welcome, Craig. Well, we knew the Pirates would have a worse defense for more offense, but if pitching takes a step back, could be another typical Pirates year. Craig, I mean, not sure if you've been watching the game so far. Do not take that, start for Paul Skeens for, exactly what it says on the stat sheet, as there is a home run for Brett Beatty. Out to center field. 10-5. 1 step forward, 2 steps back today for the Pirates. Justin Lawrence, or no, that was Carson Benj who hit that. My bad. Marcus Semien flew out to O'Neal Cruz. But then Carson Benj, the first pitch he sees, it is a sweeper. And he takes it to solo center field. 10-5. Back to your comment there for a second, Craig. Skeens, did he have a good start? No. But can I defend at least 4 of the runs he gave up? Absolutely, because O'Neal Cruz cannot be your everyday center fielder. Just cannot with what he does or doesn't do defensively. Hope the Pens game goes better than this. Honestly, if we're being honest here, I will take an ugly opening day loss for the Pirates here if the Penguins here in about 4 hours, if they're able to, I don't know, go into Ottawa, a place where they haven't won in quite some time, and win. With the Pens in the thick of their playoff race right now. This is game 1 of 162. It's a marathon, but the Pens, it is crunch time right now. Every single game, every single 2 points is critical. If they're able to get one against Ottawa, a team they're neck and neck with in the playoff race right now, I will take that trade-off. Not that, just overall, just saying the pitching cannot take a step back. Yeah, I understand, Craig. I mean, thing is, you're really, really banking on some young guys to be everything they're projected to be. Bubba Chandler, Braxton Ashcraft, those guys are going to need to be core pieces of your rotation and not need to, oh my God. We go from Carson Bench getting one over the center field wall to Francisco Alvarez. He just absolutely demolished that one. It's now 11-5. I think we're reaching call it a day territory here on this live stream. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's the sports gods saying, "Are you sure? Are you sure you want to exchange the Penguins win for the Pirates getting absolutely decimated right now?" I think they're taunting a little bit with that one. Thomas just really need to take the Islanders out on Monday. They are faltering down the line. I mean, would like to, pick up at least one win in these next 2 games against either the Senators tonight or the Dallas Stars on Saturday. But yeah, agree. Definitely the Islanders right now, they're teetering. They're on the edge of the cliff, and they're starting to lose their balance over the edge. You can give them that little push if you give them a win. Bad if you give them a push with a win. But problem again, just like with Ottawa, just like with Carolina, you got to go into it's not Nassau Coliseum anymore, whatever, UBS Arena or whatever. You got to go to Long Island and take down the Islanders, which we all know the Pens and their successes of late in Long Island. Craig here. Why does it seem like a lot of MLB people are discounting the Brew Crew? I'm certainly not. MLB people, like the analysts and all that, because they saw Freddie Peralta go bye-bye. They had another person go elsewhere. Willie Adames left there last year. But thing is, with the Brewers, it's kind of like people that watch Marvel out there, the old Hydra motto: cut off one head, 2 more shall take its place. Every time the Brewers lose someone, they bring in some, Joe Blow or whoever the hell is this guy prospect, and they turn out to be absolute studs. Caleb Durbin was that last year. They brought in Joey Ortiz, who was getting exiled from the Orioles, turned into a stud. They got David Hamilton now from the Red Sox. Bet you he turns into something good. Fly out there just a moment ago to O'Hearn in right field. That gets Lawrence out of the inning. But again, the Mets extending their lead. Literally 1 step forward, 2 steps back for the Buccos. They made it a 2-run game in the top of the 5th. Mets go out and extend their lead. Pirates end up getting another run back. Mets go back up by 2 more runs. Even when they do something right with the bats, they do something defensively or pitching wise that keeps them just out of reach from making a comeback attempt. Craig here. Is it time to bring up the goaltender from the minors? Sorry, can't spell his name correctly, so I didn't try. Sergei Murashov. I think it's Murashov. Murashov. At this point, you have to, Sergei, because Artur Shilov's whatever sort of goaltender he was pre-Olympic break, he has not been that guy afterwards. And Stuart Skinner got a little bit of, good mojo juice when he first came over from Edmonton, but now that is completely and totally drained. So right now you got two goaltenders, neither of which really wants to elevate their game and take and take the reins as the guy heading into, hopefully the playoffs. So might as well give Murashov, the dude who's, only killing it night after night down in the AHL, might as well give him a chance, Craig. I agree with that. I don't care if, I would say I do care, but Penn's really got to stop with this injury bug stuff. I think Anthony Mantha, after it was reported that he wasn't going to play with the team tonight, apparently Mantha is. Penn's recalled, believe, Jona Koppanen and Avery Hayes from Wilkes-Barre, but if the Pens could get, some sort of injury luck back on their side, would love for them to, carry three goaltenders and not need to have players sitting up in the press box every night to, help make up for being down so many injuries. Kenny Malkin will still be out. Same thing for Blake Lizotte, who's going to be out for a while. Into the bottom of the seventh now. Tobias Myers back out for his second inning of work out of the Mets pen. Nick Gonzalez up at the plate, 8-9, and then the top of the order with O'Neal Cruz due up this inning for the Pirates. It's 2-2 on Nicky G. He is, I think, 1 for 2 in the game tonight. Came around to score on a Henry Davis double back in the fifth, and that right there was a horrendous drop third strike. Gonzalez swings at a pitch that bounces 2 feet in front of home plate. Alvarez completes the strikeout, throwing on to first. So now Henry Davis time again. Islanders and Blue Jackets have tough schedules, which is still good. Agreed with that, too. I did see that. Thing is that just so demoralizing, the last 2 losses to Carolina and Colorado. Just not even being competitive whatsoever. Speaking of non-competing, first pitch routine grounder to third from Henry Davis for an out. But, I mean, I if you want to take any sort of, any sort of optimistic view at the rest of the season for the Penguins in this playoff race, their schedule does lighten up, but does it really? I mean, they play a couple teams that are outside the playoff picture. They play the Blues, the Capitals, the Florida Panthers, but we all know that those teams are going to play the Penguins tougher than what their records may show. So, yeah, Blue Jackets and Islanders do have a tougher schedule. The Pens went through their hell stretch of the schedule in March. 2-hop chopper to second base from O'Neal Cruz. 1-2-3 go the Pirates. But I mean, Penguins, does their schedule lighten up when you look at the standings and where their opponents are in the standings? Yes, but when puck drops and game is actually being played, not sure it's gonna feel that way. Still, in every game is a must-win. We're now going to head to the bottom of the 7th inning finally. Looks like we got Take Me Out to the Ball Game and God Bless America that's going to be playing here in a moment. This is just absolutely rough right now. Approaching 3 hours into the live stream here tonight. Was not expecting the game to be going this long, but that's what you get with the first inning that the Pens had. or the Pirates had. We'll say this, tomorrow probably going to have another news stream on the channel, like what we have mostly every weekday evening. Next time we'll be live for a Pirates game. Probably will be next Friday, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be the home opener for the Bucks, a 4-1-2 start time. They'll be opening up their season at home with the Baltimore Orioles. Hopefully by then the Buccos are 5-1, because sure as hell aren't winning this game, making a comeback effort the way the bats, except for a few guys, are going, and the way the pitching staff is leaking coming out of the bullpen. So 11 of you in here right now. Subscribe to the channel on your way in. Please turn on notifications, like, share, leave a comment. See in here if there's anything going on. Oh my goodness. Looking at all the error reactions still to Oneil Cruz and his error in the first inning. Again, can someone please mandate that he must wear sunglasses? You're not, shortstop anymore, where you got guys that can maybe help you out. Oh, this one here. This dude crying. Caption: Paul Skeens turning around to see another fly ball heading to Oneil Cruz. There we go. Like that. Tweet from Penguins Jesus. Huge game against Ottawa, you say. And it's the video of Chris Kunitz's Game 7 overtime goal. Who's going to step up and be the hero tonight? Someone needs to, with the way this team is going right now. Erik Karlsson can't do it by himself, guys. All right. Bottom of the 7th inning coming up here. Losing steam in a hurry. No idea how that just got changed to a ticker, but we'll fix that. There you go. Got things back to normal now. It's going to be Bo Bichette coming up to the plate for the Mets. Everybody in the bullpen pretty much going to get involved today for the Pirates. This is their 6th new pitcher. Skeens, Ramirez, Montgomery. You had Matson and Lawrence. So this is their 6th new pitcher of the ball game, and he's going to get a broken bat fly out to left field. Reynolds comes in and makes the catch. Bichette, that bat, he's been swinging at a lot of inside pitches today, Bichette, and the bat finally gave. It's a shallow fly ball to left field that is caught. The bat ended up making it all the way to the shortstop area. 1 out. Gregory Soto is the new pitcher for the Pirates. Left-hander. Signed a 1-year, $7 million contract with the Pirates this offseason. Spent many years in the Detroit Tigers organization. I believe he's also a former New York Met, so a bit of a homecoming for him as well. Pitched in the World Baseball Classic with the Dominican Republic. Gave up a home run in the semifinal game we were live for against the United States. I think Roman Anthony took him deep. 0-2 here on Jorge Polanco from Soto. The pitch, and he gets a swing and a miss. Excellent pitch right there from Soto. Nasty sweeper for strikeout number 1 in his Pirate career. 2 quick outs here on 4 pitches for Soto, and now here comes his Dominican Republic teammate from a few weeks ago. Or no, excuse me, that was I had for some reason thinking that was Lindor as the switch hitting leadoff man. It's Luis Robert Jr. now. 2 for 3. Drove in a couple of RBIs today. Oh, and 1 on Robert. Soto here attacking. Another filthy slider. 0-2. That pitch is really working. At the very least here, you know, if you're manager Donnie Kelly, just tell your relief pitchers, hey, just go out there and attack right off the jump. No need to, you know, play around and no need to play around and see or, you know, try to set up guys. Just go right at them, save your pitch count, get back in the dugout because we're going to need you again here later on in this series. 0-2 from Soto and a swing and a miss. That right there is another tiny positive to take away from this outing today. Gregory Soto, a squeaky clean 1-2-3, bottom of the 7th inning. He is able to get a 1-pitch fly out for Bichette, come back and strike out in short order Jorge Polanco and Luis Robert Jr. We're on to the 8th here. This game, for as slow snail moving that it's been going at throughout most of the game, hopefully we're coming to a quick and easy end here where we get quick innings like that. Back here in a moment, going to take one of our final breaks here of the day. Stay where you are. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This game slowly coming to an end, but hopefully business will pick up a little bit quicker so we can just get this opening day L for the Bucks out of the way. Brandon Lau leading off the top of the 8th inning. He, along with maybe 2, 3, if you're really optimistic, other players in the Pirates lineup today or pitching staff, having a good day. You got Lau with 2 home runs on the day. One back in the 1st inning. Another, I believe, in the 3rd. And this one, grounder to the first baseman, Jorge Polanco. It ate him up a bit, but he had more than enough time to collect himself and toss it on to the pitcher Myers for the out. One away here in the top of the 8th. Lau blistered that one. Took a nasty hop on Polanco too, but he was able to knock it down, keep it from getting past him. So that makes it 1 down for the Pirates. Brian Reynolds now up. Now after saying that about Lau, trying to think about, what all good came of the Pirates game today. I mean, the long ball seems to work. 2 homers from Lau, 1 from Ryan O'Hearn. So there's 2 good performances today from Lau and O'Hearn. Brian Reynolds hasn't been all that compromising of a left fielder. Gregory Soto, awesome appearance out of the pen. I think Johan Ramirez, we can give him a small plus in his category today for what he had to do coming out of the bullpen in the first. Brian Reynolds grounder again, same thing like Brandon Lau. Hard ripping ground ball right at the first baseman Polanco. This time Polanco was able to field it cleanly and ran it over to the bag himself for the out. 2 away now. Top of the 8th for the Pirates. Got 2 outs now. Things have gone so bad today for the Pirates. Got a whole bunch of people calling out O'Neal Cruz. Just not too much positives to take away. That's why we're trying to find it. Got Marcell Ozuna up to bat now. Ozuna today, the only newcomer in the lineup. Lau made his impact with the bat. Same thing for Ryan O'Hearn at least once. Ozuna 0 for 3. He's got a strikeout, maybe 2 mixed in there. And this one's going to be popped up behind home plate, and Alvarez is going to watch it go into the crowd. Ozuna trying to get his first hit as a Pirate. In a hole here, 1-2 is the count. Myers the pitch. Ozuna lays off of it. Count now runs even 2-2. 36 pitches for Tobias Myers in his relief appearance thus far. Here's 37, and Ozuna fouls it away. Count still remaining 2-2. Seems like, for the most part, not being able to listen to the TV a little bit. At least NBC's broadcast of the ball game today has gone a tiny bit smoother than whatever the hell was going on last night on Netflix for that Yankees-Giants game. Rough broadcast for Netflix there. 3-2 on Ozuna after he watched the ball. And he'll pop this one off to the right side. It's going to stay in play on the foul line. All 3 outs that inning, featuring Jorge Polanco. He makes the grab on the outfield grass. And the Pirates go quietly in the top of the 8th. One more chance with the bats for the Mets, and then the Pirates will wrap things up in the top of the 9th. Still 11-5. Back here to the comment section. Craig Werlow. Maybe O'Neal should just be a DH for the rest of his career. Just saying. At this point, yes, but with the roster the Pirates have, O'Hearn, Ozuna, Brian Reynolds, any day that Marcell Ozuna is not going to be the DH, best believe that O'Hearn or Reynolds, hell, even Joey Bart over O'Neal Cruz is going to be the DH. So designated hitter, not in the short-term future for O'Neill Cruz this season. Craig here. Again, been long-suffering Pirates fan since 1977. Seen a hell of a lot more bad than good. Indeed you have, Craig. Indeed you have. For me, my whole life, it's all been bad, except for one little 3-year span from 2013 to 2015. That was, a few playoff appearances, a wild card win against the Cincinnati Reds. That's all my generation has to hold on to in terms of having pride for this baseball team. Hopefully it changes. Hopefully this is just, like we've been talking about, game 1 of 162. You would have little to no excuse with Paul Skeens and Connor Griffin, some of the other guys here on this team, Lau O'Hearn, when he's not a, blundering moron in center field, O'Neill Cruz, when he's right with the bat. Some of the other pitchers as well. Should be no excuse to not win this season if you're the Pirates. Hoping just for, a taste of the postseason would go a long way into healing this fandom. But every time we open up our hearts, they chop it up into a million pieces. At least for me, seeing 1979 World Series. At least you got that. I would be lucky, Craig, to see any sort of Pirate team come close to a World Series by the time I reach your age. That'd be like hitting the lottery, for being quite honest here. Dennis Santana, the Pirates closer, is on the pitch here. Would have loved very much for Dennis Santana to pitch today, but definitely not in these circumstances. Down by 6 runs. Just going to get him a little bit of work here today against Brett Beatty. Now in a 2-1 count after that foul into the protective netting down the right field line. They keep panning the camera today to 2 people, Paul Skeens and O'Neill Cruz. Definitely I put more blame on the outfielder than I do the pitcher. Pitcher executed and got, the defense into position to make like 5 outs in that first inning. Only made 2 for him. Next to Skeens there on his right and his left, Bubba Chandler, Braxton Ashcraft. They will not be pitching in this series. Ashcraft and Chandler. They will instead pitch in the first 2 games of the Cincinnati Reds series right after this. Right off the bat, a NL Central matchup. Bucks versus Reds. It's going to be a series that you would want to see the best out of the Bucks. 2-2 now on Beatty. Been fighting off a couple of foul balls. Pitch from Santana. Ground ball rolling to his left. Second baseman Lau Horwitz was a little bit late getting to first base, but Lau just had to put a little bit more velocity on the throw for the out. Marcus Semien going to step back in now for the Mets. Definitely doesn't look like he's having any sort of issues with the bat. Had a down year last year with the Texas Rangers. Off to a hot start, 2 for 4 today. That first pitch from Santana to Semien in there for a strike. Marcus Semien play in the WBC at all? I do not think so. 0-1 from Santana. Beautiful fastball right there on the outside black of the strike zone. 0-2 now. Santana here trying to end this at-bat before it even got a chance to start. And strike 3. And Marcus Semien's going to do a pitch challenge here. He's not going to win it because NBC does have the strike zone outline popped up here today It clips the top of the strike zone. Semien rung up. The call is confirmed. So the ABS challenge system works in the favor of the Pirates. Strikeout looking for Dennis Santana. Meant to bring that up at the earlier of the broadcast. I thought with the ABS challenge system that strike zone outlines on TV broadcasts were supposed to be gone. We were going to go back to the traditional you at home judge whether it's a strike or not, but apparently not the case, at least with NBC's broadcast. I bet you when they go back to the local broadcasts like Sportsnet Pittsburgh and all that, that you will have the strike zone taken off. But the NBC saying, nope, we're keeping it here tonight. 2-0 now on Carson Benj, rookie right fielder for the Mets. 1 for 3 with a walk and a solo home run. That was a back-to-back home run sequence back in the 6th inning for Benj and Francisco Alvarez. 2-1 here on the rookie. Left-handed batter. Santana, his 13th pitch. And that pitch just misses inside. Had some heavy break on the slider right there. Almost a little bit too much. Tried to catch the inside half of the strike zone, but couldn't do it. 3-1, and it's a walk for Santana. 5-pitch walk. Benj on base. Just go out and attack him, Santana. I mean, I know you want to take some personal pride here in your ERA, but just go out there, attack, get it over with. Alvarez now back in. 2 for 3. Quiet 2 for 3, aside from the home run for Alvarez. 0-1. Called for strike on Alvarez. Look back at Alvarez's home run. 429 feet. Absolutely destroyed that baseball to straightaway left field. It's now 0-2. Santana up quickly ahead again on this batter. Santana, pitch. Runner goes in there safely with no throw. Is Benj. Ball. Pitch was called a ball. Davis came up like he was going to fire, but Benj was already well there. Davis, even if he makes a perfect throw, not sure he gets the speedster. 1-2. The pitch from Santana. And Alvarez pops this one up. Right side of the infield. Camping under it is Lau. Makes the catch. And finally, feels like an eternity, but we are finally off to the 9th inning. And hopefully the Pirates can put this thing to bed, because it has been a slog of a game to this point. Just going to stick right here. I'm not going to, take a final TV break. Just going to ride this commercial break out. Pat McAfee, Pittsburgh native, who's tuning into the game today, putting baseball is rough out there on Twitter. Yeah, just now paying attention a little bit more there, Pat. Someone is apparently analyzing Paul Skeens' pitching mechanics from last year to this year, and looks like Skeens' slight alteration when he brings his arm back to throw the baseball. He's revealing the ball to his batter, a little bit more. Opens up more, gives batter a tiny bit more time to read and decipher what's coming. Hoping that's, not anything that a Bill Murphy, put in there. Scenes was pretty perfect as is. Let's make sure it stays that way. Just got another thing here. Stuart Skinner tonight. Going to start for the Penguins against the Ottawa Senators. God help us. Seeing if there's going to be anything else to talk about here. Game's now coming back from commercial break. Luis Garcia on the pitch for the Mets to bring this one to an end. Got, I think this is Ryan O'Hearn in there. 5, 6, 7 in the order for the Pirates. O'Hearn at the plate against Garcia. Garcia, that pitch just outside. Count now moves to 1-1. We'll say a little bit surprised down, by 6 runs here. Manager Donnie Kelly hasn't pulled a few starters to get him fresh for Saturday. But just going to leave him in there. 2-1 on O'Hearn after that last pitch missed. Here's the pitch from Garcia and O'Hearn. Oh my goodness. That one was a little inside. Would have been close if O'Hearn decided to challenge, but he didn't. Matter of fact, that's another thing. There has not been, I believe, a single challenge initiated by the Pirates today. There's a ripping line drive into right field for O'Hearn. He's on here to begin the 9th. Not a single ABS challenge by the Bucks today. You've had at least 2 from the Mets. One by the pitcher Freddie Peralta earlier in the game, and then another by Marcus Semien. I think last half inning that ended up holding up as a strikeout. Jared Triolo, 0 for 3 today, steps in. And Triolo's going to hit this one out to right center field, and that's going to get down and into the gap to the wall. Jared Triolo, his first hit of the season. It is a double into the right center gap, perfectly in between the right fielder Benj and the center fielder Robert, to where neither man could get to it. O'Hearn moves up to third, runners in scoring position here with nobody out in the 9th. Spencer Horwitz now in. He's 0 for 3 today. Garcia, the pitch. Horwitz, right. Oh, my goodness. No challenge by the Mets. That was painted as painted can get with that pitch. Perfectly placed on the inside bottom corner, but they do not get the call. It does the Mets. I'll be unbiased in calling where the pitch is. Garcia, another pitch. Well, there's your even up. Horwitz just swung at a ugly, I think, change up below the zone. So now realistically, we're back to a 1-1 count. Garcia, the pitch again to Horwitz. And another one from Horwitz. Another ugly swing at that splitter, 90 miles an hour, dipping down and out of the zone. Count is now at 1-2. Horwitz going to take his time out here of this at-bat, step out. 0 for 3. Ground out, fly out. I think a strikeout for Horwitz. 1-2 from Garcia to Horwitz. Pausing and the pitch. And didn't matter if Horwitz made any sort of adjustment off of that timeout. He swung at almost the same pitch 3 different times. The splitter. And that is an ugly at-bat for Spencer Horwitz. 1 out now here in the top of the 9th. Nick Gonzalez, number 8 hitter in the Pirates lineup. Chops that one foul. Look here at the upcoming schedule for the Pirates. 2 more against the Mets this weekend on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Just now finding this out for the first time. The first game of their series against the Reds on Monday. It'll be a game on FS1. This one cracked out to the gap by Nick Gonzalez, and that's down. The Pirates are going to at least make the game seem like it was closer than it actually was. A 1-out, 2 RBI double for Nick Gonzalez. Makes it 11-7 Mets. I don't want to say the term better late than never because, you know, where the hell was this earlier in the ball game? But now it's a 4-run ball game for the Pirates, and Gonzalez standing at second with 1 out. You got Devin Williams, the closer for the Mets, who is now getting up in the bullpen. 1 more run comes across here for the Pirates. It'll be a 3-run deficit. I believe that turns it into a save situation for Williams. Henry Davis now up to bat. 1 for 3. A single back in the 5th inning, I believe it was. Hard ripper down the left field line that got past a diving Bo Bichette. Brought home a run. Davis, that first pitch outside, and we got a challenge here from Francisco Alvarez, the catcher. It's close here. Did it just get the strike zone? Let's see here, and it did. So it is strike number 1 on Davis. Just a little under half of the baseball catching the zone. Call is now 0-1 on Davis. Garcia comes set. The pitch. Davis clobbers this one, but it is going to be well foul. Saw that a whole bunch from Henry Davis so far in his big league career. Dude absolutely murders the ball when he gets good wood on it. Problem is keeping it fair. 0-2 now on the number 9 hitter. The pitch from Garcia. Davis hits this one. High fly ball out to left field. Juan Soto camps under it, and that is now out. Number 2, and the last man standing between the Pirates and defeat. Fitting. This whole crap show today pretty much started with O'Neal Cruz, and it most likely is going to end with O'Neal Cruz. He steps in here. 1 for 4 in the ball game today. That lone hit all the way back in the 1st inning before, everything went off the rails. Has swung at some ugly pitches down below the zone. That pitch right there just missed. 1-0. Garcia comes set the pitch again. Cruz, not even the same zip code with that splitter on the swing. Count now to 1-1. Mets fans come to their feet at Citi Field. The 1-1 check swing from Cruz, and they are not even going to appeal to the third base umpire. They're just going to say he went. 1-2. 1 strike away now. Garcia steps off here. Cleans off his cleats on the scraper behind the mound. The pitch. Cruz foul, popped up and out of play. One might have gone right off the very end of the bat. Cruz was just checking it to see if it was broken. 1-2. Again, Garcia. The pitch. Cruz swings and misses. The same old ugly, just throwing yourself at the splitter swing he always does. And the implosion began and ends with Oneil Cruz, an opening day stinker for the most part for the Pirates. Very tiny, like you got to look with a magnifying glass, positives to take away from the game, but overall, the Pirates lay a big old pile of crap on the field at Citi Field in New York. 11-7 final score. Paul Skeens, rough start. No help from Oneil Cruz. The bats, aside from Ryan O'Hearn and Brandon Lau, 2 of the newcomers, they were quiet today. Pitching staff in the bullpen behind Skeens. Couple guys okay, couple guys not so well. And 0-1 to begin the season are the Pirates. All the hoopla and, pie in the sky thinking about this team, it's all past us now. It's time to get back to reality. And remember, this team needs to prove to us that they truly want to be a winning team. So that's going to do it for today. Over 3.5 hours on stream here today. No pitch clock or, way to shorten the game that the MLB's been trying to do over the past couple of years was all that effective today. 3.5 hour ball game, and now we're on to the weekend. Pirates and Mets will both be off tomorrow. They'll pick up the series Saturday and Sunday before the Pirates then head to Cincinnati for a 3-game set. 11-7 the final score. That's going to do it here. On your way out, please hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so that you never miss a thing here on the channel. Again, like, share, leave a comment in the comment section. Go give the channel a follow at Steel City SR on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Pirates lose. What else is new? Horrible game comes to a horrible end. See you guys back here tomorrow, most likely for a new Steel City Sports Support live stream. And then the next time we are live for a Pirate game, it'll be next Friday for the home opener against the Baltimore Orioles. Let's sure as hell hope that the Pirates show a lot more fight than what they did here today. See you guys then. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. Pirates fall to the New York Mets 11-7.